One thing I know about British sim racers in a general sense is that they love and are very proud of their home circuits. Be that the legendary Silverstone or maybe Brands Hatch, Knock Hill, or as you can see, Donington Park, it doesn't matter. They love their British tracks. And with good reason, and that, of course, is why we are here then with the British Sim Racers for round number 1 of the BSR Winter Series, this being the Tuesday edition of it. So, all of you guys that are very familiar with the series, you know this means MX-5s. For those of you who are brand new, welcome to some global spec Miata racing. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. These cars put on a whirlwind of a time. It's going to be a really good time, I think. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Castle Donington. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with JP Costa alongside. Thanks so much for joining us. And JP, welcome to the British Sim Racers and their MX-5 Tuesdays.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm so proud of being here. I'm so happy to be here alongside with you. And, well, as you mentioned, these guys, well, they should be proud. You know, the British racing circuits, they are legendary amongst the motorsport community. You know, one of those biggest, I guess, even on F1, you know, World Endurance Championship, all those types of racing, you do have legendary British circuits. And this is one of them. You know, the Donington Park, today we're racing in the national national circuit, you could call, and well, it's just an amazing racetrack. We've been here before with the NARL, we've been here before with previous series, and this track just delivers so much good racing, you know, so much action. As you can see, times are dropping like flies on the board, and while we have a track map here, Andrew, 10 corners, quite differently than the ones we've had before, but still a very challenging, not so easy racetrack.
Yeah, nothing about Donington Park is very easy, be that for Redgate Turn 1 or down the hill from Craner Curves down to the old hairpin, even coming up over Coppice. Every part of this track is pretty challenging, aside from maybe the Starkey Straight. I guess you can get away with coming down the straight pretty easily. The chicane that we'll have, this is the national layout of Donington Park, so the chicane down there for turns 9 and 10, that is also pretty challenging, but there is pretty forgiving turtle curbing on each side, the sausage curbs there, and it pops you up onto 2 wheels, but it's quite usable. It doesn't destroy the car. We do have some 33 drivers that you can see are turning times. We are joining these guys in the midst of their qualifying session. We'll pop down and see how some of the times are going. Fastest so far, it's one of the pros, Andrew Mcewen, it looks like, in the number 4 car, fastest of everybody for year 1 racing. As I mentioned, 33 cars or so. It looks like we're right at that number of 33 for tonight. But we may fluctuate, and you can see white number boxes. Those are your pros. Yellows, those are amateurs, and in the middle, in those blue number boxes, those are your pro-ams, and an amateur just went quite far to the top of the board, actually. So he's logged in the driver lineup as an amateur. Well, that number 15 car, I believe, yeah, we're looking at Paul Donkin. He's logged as an amateur, but it seems like he's only number 15 there, JP. He might be a pro. He might have been moved up more recently, so that might get adjusted for next week. But right now, that number 15 is pretty quick.
Number 15 is pretty quick. The amateur, as you mentioned, on 3rd place currently. I mean, he's well over a second clear of his closest competition. As we're taking a look at the drivers, looks like they're racing already in qualifying, Andrew. So this is just a sign of things to come during the race. We're going to have a different race schedule as well for today, as we do have some drivers allowing others on fastest laps to go by. And as you can see, 33 car, 33 Miatas on Donington Park. You're just going to get a train of cars like this. And, well, I could look at this all day long. Seems like so much fun, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be very, very competitive as well.
Look on board here with Tom Griffith, second on the board so far, following a couple of his teammates through 9 and 10. The chicane to wrap up the lap, and that's a little bit dirty into the dirt. That's going to cancel his lap time if he had one rolling. It looked like he was green by about a second, too, so anything he got right there should be nullified, and yeah, Adam McNally goes faster. Griffiths will fall back. Now, some of these numbers might not match. We're going off of the sign-up sheet that we were provided, and of course, being a brand new season, there's a few kinks to work out, but by week 2, and honestly, probably by Thursday, because of course we do have TCRs coming up later in the week, we should have that sorted out, and at least that is the hope. Still watching on board here with Griffiths. He's 3rd, working down through the old hairpin, turn number 4. Adam Delmont is in the driver that we've got to look at so far, 4th in qualifying times. And look at that. He's right in front of Griffiths and one of their other teammates. I believe, actually, that is McNally right in the middle of them. So they're all teammates, and they all just went faster.
Yeah, those are teammates. Obviously, they're helping each other. And unfortunately for the number 77, he's going to be pulling the train. So he's going to be punching that hole in the air. Going to be losing not a lot of time, but just, just a tiny little bit during this race. You're going to see if there's any teamwork by the 77. If he's going to allow those teammates behind him just fly by. Looks like that might be the case. I'm not quite sure. But if he does, well, it looks like the teammates are doing essentially, I guess, a little train, you could call it, during qualifying to make sure all of them get the optimal lap time. And as you can see, all 3 of them, looks like everybody just diving into the pits as well. So a combined team effort, even during the pit stops.
Some other drivers opting to go ahead and pit. And I do believe... Let's see, so our fastest non-pro, so we're going to assume that Duncan is meant to be a pro by his car number in the sim. The fastest non-pro that I see may be down here in about 15th position. This being Chris Knox now that we're watching, and they're all kind of mixed up. It seems like the top 10 is pretty, well, no, Knox is well, it's not matching up, but I guess further back, Jillian Shore, that is going to be one of the amateurs looking pretty quick.
Yeah, some of these drivers are looking pretty quick, and the times are extremely close. I guess we have to look all the way nearly to the top 20 to find the drivers separated by 1 second. As you can see here, even the top 20, 7/10 of a second. So this is an extremely competitive field. This is going to be extremely interesting to see how everything's going to line up during the race, seeing everybody with this close lap times. And, well, there's only one way to figure that out. We're going to find out in 5 minutes' time, but it's going to be a fantastic race if everybody can keep up with this pace, and, well, cannot wait to see.
Casper de Court, number 5, just went pretty quick, up to 6th, in fact, into the top 10, and he was well down the order, and drives out right in front of a couple of teammates there. Works down the hill now. I wonder how this is going to work with those drivers behind. An AM and a Pro-Am going to maybe help him out, and we can see, actually, I forgot. look at the wings, or not the wings, the mirrors. I don't know why I said wings right there. Look at the mirrors. Those will tell you which class most of these drivers are in. Of course, white will match up with the white number blocks. That's a pro. Then we're looking at Casper, and then we can find out for Donington. Let's wait. Well, I mean, his mirrors are white, but that could just be the Trading Paints livery. So we'll confirm that, I'm sure, with Donington for future rounds. A little further deep in the field, a couple of drivers getting their first laps on the track. It looks like here's Arwen Graham in 33rd spot. It looks like a 34th driver is connected. Colin Sansom down here, Lauren Murray, a few drivers still getting their times in, and I'm sure we'll climb up the board. Here is Colin Sansom for Year 1 Racing.
As you can see, some drivers already warming up the tires, kind of drifting the car to get those tires up to temperature. Oh, looks like a close call on the final chicane there for Samson. Unfortunately, that's going to be ruining his lap time on the final corner. So if he was improving, that has absolutely cleared all the improvement. Yeah, he goes half a second slower than his best lap time. So unfortunately for him, he still has 3 minutes to go, so if he can just line himself up, maybe cool the tires a little bit, they might have overheated or something. He has enough time to go at least two more laps to trying to improve his current lap time. Unfortunately for him, only 2.3 seconds slower than the leader. Plenty of time to improve, and well, I'm pretty sure the time is there. If he can find a partner essentially to follow on those massive straight, I'm pretty sure he can find at least a couple of tenths.
He'll be looking for those 10s as he leads a train around. And this will be turn 7. Compass, so I do want to go on board here. I was taking laps earlier, you know, just getting myself used to the track. And up here in Compass, turn number 8, this is a very deceiving corner. You want to turn in a little bit early, kind of clip that apex if you can. But also, you can carry a lot of speed, and the way the radius opens out on exit, I think you can carry a lot more speed than it really feels like you can. Sansom's going to try and overtake a car right here on the right side. Maybe one more before turn 9. He's going to get it, and is going to keep that speed that he's built up throughout this lap. We'll see if he can go any faster. He is tracking purple for himself. So one of the best laps that he's put down, at least in that sector. We'll see where he goes. 32nd, does he move up at all? No, he does not. He may have got that off track at the apex of Compass. Michael Leese, though, just went faster in the number 55, it looks like, and will now pull off.
And some drivers are already pulling off. As you can see, it's kind of difficult to find essentially a spot to pull off. So many drivers on the racetrack trying to improve. As we can see here on board, the 57 kind of getting traffic on his way. Looks like on the run up to the back straight. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be held up. Oh, and nearly a bit of contact. And I'm pretty sure if they had a bit of contact, but he's going to be making his way through. He has a bit of time left. He might just have enough time to open and complete his final lap. As you can see, a bit of a traffic jam on the back straight, but unfortunately for the number 57, he's currently 21st place. So he definitely will want to improve his current lap time. And well, looks like everybody's just, looks like a Formula 1 qualifying session, doesn't it, Andrew? Everybody just backing off before the final corner to get themselves the best possible chance to go for pole.
And here's a driver potentially on a purple lap, Lee Holmes, 10th so far. You can see he's about 2.5 tenths off of pole leader, or pole sitter, Andrew Mcewen. And Lee is going to drive into the final couple of corners here. This is turn 9 coming up. He's one of the pros, has an opportunity here to potentially go for pole. Tells us he's tracking purple by about a half tenth. Does it actually come true? At least in that last sector, he was pretty quick across the line. I don't think it's going to budge a whole lot, at least not up to pole. It was a pretty solid lap, but it also could have been his out lap with just a purple sector. But hey, that means that he's set up for a pretty good lap coming up, and we do have a change atop the board. That's Adam Delmont now, purple overall, goes quicker, and he is one of those Excite Energy machines, the number 77 it looks like.
Yeah, he did a fantastic lap time. He got a lot of help. Look at this train. Did not hinder his lap at all, and he pretty much helped over 1.5 tenths quicker than Mcewen behind him in second place, and over 2 tenths quicker than McNally. As you can see, some drivers getting close calls. You know, I saw so many drivers drifting on the exit of that corner as you dip a wheel into the grass. The number 47, that was his teammate right ahead of him. Hopefully it did not distract him. Looks like the timer will be running out, so well, this might be our grid, Andrew.
Yeah, Delmont's not going to get another lap in. Most of these drivers want a lot of Excite Energy machines in the field, and it looks like Mcewen in the pit lane, McNally out there. They will have a moment to finish up their lap times, of course, being an open qualifying session, but how many of them can get across the line with no issue before their time runs out? We'll see. A few more drivers coming up. Here is James Sharp, I believe, going to go ahead and park it. Dan Mold is going to come on through. No, he's going to park it as well. Well, that's okay. We have a speed shot, so we can sit down here by the start-finish line and see what these drivers are, we'll see how many more drivers are coming across, I suppose, if we can get to it right there. A few more coming to the checkered flag at a turn 10. Ben Sharp goes faster. He's up to 11th in this qualifying session. And we're going to have a grid of 34 drivers. Now, we haven't mentioned it yet today. A lot of you guys watching probably already know, but 4 races today. It's not just the one race that we have. We have 4 races for round number 1 here at Donington Park. We have 9 races total, well, 9 meetings total, if you will, in the season. But 4 races today. We have 15-minute races apiece. That means we have an invert between each race. We don't have an invert before the first race. Of course, we're taking this qualifying lineup and we'll race with it. But before race number 2, we'll have an invert, and we'll have that on screen for each of you guys to watch, and of course for us to watch, so we know, and even the admins, so they know. We'll have that invert for you. We'll be doing a little bit of a spinny wheel here in just a little bit after our first race. We'll try and talk with a couple of drivers as well. Looks like qualifying is wrapped up. There's only a couple more cars on the track. In fact, I think there's only one more, and that is going to be Thor Tulla, Area 52 Designs. I recognize that logo along with Simbox. A couple of familiar partners there on the side of that. Number 44, he's going to work around the track for the final time. And you know what, JP, I don't think he's going to get to the line, so that'll do it for qualifying here at Donington Park.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's just going to be running out of time. A few extra seconds in, the number 44 could have essentially finished his lap time, but unfortunately for him, could not do it. But with that being said, Andrew, I'm pretty sure we have a grid to go through.
Oh, that way too. Some 34 cars in total, and they're all gridding up now. Let's take you through the running order. Well, I guess the starting order for race number 1. Adam Delmont in the number 77 on pole. Ben Williams in second. Starting third, it's going to be Andrew Mcewen in the number 4. Starting fourth is Adam McNally right alongside. Starting fifth, it's Tom Griffiths in the 11, then Paul Duncan. 7th place starter, it's Casper DeCourt. Then James Clark in 8th. The top 10 rounded out by James Sharp and Liam Silkstone. And I think we're getting ready already to potentially go green. Looks like we are going for that standing start. We'll let the rest of the field go on by on the bottom of the screen. Pick out your favorite driver and get ready to go racing with us. This is going to be a very, very fun one at Donington Park. You can see Julian Schroer back there. Schroer, I'm going to have to work on that name. 18th spot. This is 19th and 20th. Nathan Davies, Harley Moss. A few more drivers getting ready to go. We're waiting on lights out, and away we go. I'm not Martin Brundle. I won't, or even David Croft. I'm not going to try that too much, but we will on these guys to get rolling.
Well, we could definitely give our best shot as, well, 34 Mazda Miatas. I mean, Andrew, this might be one of the biggest grids we've ever had, and, well, around a small track like this, it sure is going to be a show as... well, the lights might be coming on at any minute, and boy, I'm excited to see this race going on.
Yeah, at this point, we're just waiting on the signal. Each of these drivers waiting on Barney the flagman high atop that flag stand on the inside of the racetrack here at Donington Park to give these drivers the green flag. On pole again, that's Adam Delmont, rather. I'm going to have to get used to that one as well. Adam Delmont in the number 77. Ben Williams left side, outside pole. Starting third, that is Andrew Mcewen. We're waiting on lights. Red lights, waiting on green. It's coming. Green flag is out. We're going. Red gate for the first time. The entire field working through one. Already a single file for the top 5. First battle, that's 6th. Casper DeCourt and Paul Duncan. They'll battle down the hill for the first time.
As they battle down the hill, looks like everybody's going to go single file through this middle part of the racetrack. Obviously, still lap 1, a shorter race, only 15 minutes. You still have to make up places on lap 1, but you're not going to win it on lap 1. You're going to lose it, as it looks like we're lining ourselves up to have a battle for the lead. Looks like we're going to have a switch on the lead way before the front stretch. I wasn't expecting that, but the number 75 definitely looking extremely racing. Well, he almost took the lead around the outside.
A lot of battles throughout the entire field. This is up front. Delmont with company from Williams that first time through. And that's going to mean Mcewen has a shot, I think, here at Williams before they get to turn number 10. And this will round out lap number 1, watching everybody in a single file line down the Starkey Straight. 9 and 10, nice and orderly through the chicane. It looks like a few drivers further back, they're battling. Lap 1, though, now in the books.
Lap 1 in the books, first of maybe 12 or 13, so these drivers still have plenty of time to learn their rivals, learn their lines, see their mistakes and study them to make sure they line themselves up for a perfect move. Now obviously as you're following someone, you're going to be losing a bit of those reference points, so we're going to be seeing drivers going wide, drivers breaking a little bit early. As you can see, we already have further battles as we look further back on the grid. I mean, we're just going to be seeing Mazda MX-5 going side by side all day long, but looks like this battle just might be over.
Yeah, a lot of battles through this field. We see one driver a little bit wide, as actually this is Lee Holmes, the number 35. We saw him a little bit in qualifying, and he's going to take a shot here at James Clark. This is for 11th and 12th. And it looks like Holmes is going to wait back, but James Sharp is in a nice little battle here around the outside of James Neve. These two going at it. This is going to lead this entire pack up the hill. This is Coppice now, one driver a bit wide out of 7. Look at this, side by side, though. Swift Cooper, number 43 on the inside. And he doesn't have any teammate help at the moment, does he? That number, well, that Swift Cooper car, I believe, is Luke Cooper. And he's all on his own. Up front, though, Adam Delmont still leading the way through the chicane for the second time. The Excite Energy car still out front.
Still up front, quite dominant so far. Hasn't really felt the pressure further behind. As you can see now, Williams, is he going to make a move down into turn 1? Can he brake a little bit later? Looks like not for the time being. The fastest laps goes for 3rd place right now, Mcewen. So he's lining himself up to try and get the lead from these two ahead of him. The number 75 and the number 77, both ahead of him. So he has 2 targets. He has the fastest lap. Might have the fastest car at the beginning of the race. So, well, keep an eye out for him.
Love this look on board with Mcewen. You mentioned it, he's riding 3rd right now, and the benefit for him is he gets to ride in the draft, especially the slipstream, I suppose, especially down the Starkey Straight. There's a lot of time to be gained there, but he's got one car up the inside for 7. That's McNally looking up the inside. It's one of the Excite Energy machines, and that's only going to help his teammate out front. If Delmont only has to defend from one car, that's going to make his job a whole lot easier. So there we go, a little bit of a hip check. That's beyond racing for you.
Yeah, that's, well, there we go. So now we're going to have 2 teammates going past him, so that's only going to help Delmont out. Obviously, they created a nice little gap to 3rd place. As you can see now, those teammates absolutely swallowing. Looks like Mcewen is going to be losing quite a bit of spot. They're going to go too wide through the chicane. Well, I mean, that's just racing. As you can see, number 24 trying to get into the action. A bit of door banging on the main straight, but looks like everybody makes it through one piece. Look at it, Andrew. They are almost pushing one another.
And that's Ben Sharp shoving his way through on the inside. 3 wide to Redgate. Ben Sharp's going to take 2 for 1, maybe 3 for 1. 3 wide on the exit of the corner. They squeeze. They make it happen. Year 1, that's the number 4, Andrew Mcewen, around the outside, trying to find something here. There's still 2-3 wide down the hill to turn 4. They'll go. Oh, my goodness. Ben Sharp down to the 4th corner. Going to take that spot on the inside. No, he just can't quite get there.
Wow, I mean, that was just amazing to see those guys going 2-3 wide through the 1st sector. Somehow they all make it through in one piece. And I mean, look at it, Andrew. That almost looks like NASCAR at Daytona. They're pushing one another, trying to get past one another. That's just fantastic. Looks like the number 24 gets kind of bit out of shape as the number 15 gets passed by the number 3. Looks like number 4, sorry, of Mcewen. And wow, I mean, this is just going to be nonstop.
Look at that whole pack. That's from about the 4th position on through the 14th position or so. They'll work back down to 9 and 10. And this is being led by, 4th place, Tom Griffiths. Side by side there, though, is Mcewen with the 15 up the inside. That's Donkin. He's on our ticker as the 929. I think that's an outdated number. That should be corrected by next week. But Donkin now is going to be under fire from Mold, and Mold going to switch up, go the inside now down to Redgate, the number 80. Going to try and take that spot, and I think he's going... No, he's going to let him have it.
Yeah, it looks like not close enough to make a dive into turn 1. The number 15 was quite keen on closing that door on the apex, so absolutely no chance as we're now on board with the number 7. This is just going to be non-stop. Just look at how many cars he has ahead of him, and they're just following a line. Looks like train on tracks as James Neve tries to line himself up to pass Knox, the number 23 driver, right ahead of him. And, well, the only way right now I can see Andrew of a pass being made is either by a mistake, another battle ahead of him, or a good exit into the main straight.
Neve sitting in 15th. We're on board with him now. A position change behind as Harley Moss and Mike Lease get after it. One car, I think, is off, and that is Mike Lease off in the dirt. This is out of turn 7, heading up to turn 8. And you can see he's just trying to get a gather on that car. Oh, we've got a gaggle passing him. And they will get on by an okay rejoin. Not a great rejoin, but an okay rejoin there. It'll pass.
An okay rejoin, but absolutely amazing car controls. Looks like the number 15 is having trouble in the final corner. He's going to be losing a spot to number 35. The number 5 looks like in another driver, so that's how much a mistake on the final chicane is going to cost us. It looks like we do have 2 battles side by side. That's going to be the number 11 going down the inside of his teammate, the number 24, as the number 5 gets past the number 4. Everything is happening at once, Andrew. I'm losing track of it.
A couple of crashes in the back. They get that sorted out. We'll go back up front. McNally is third. He's still following his teammate, and Ben Williams leading this race. But Ben Sharp is on the offensive right now, trying to get on by the number 11 of Griffiths. And he's had a couple of opportunities. They were side by side to turn 1 this past time through. Now he's got a shot maybe for 7. Is he going to take it up the inside? No. He's going to sit back, maybe wait for Coppice, or more than likely going to stay behind him through Coppice and get the run down the Starkey Straight.
Yeah, that might be the best option at the moment. It looks like we do have 2 cars
That's
off.
Dan Mold. And Chris Knox is backwards.
Oh, so unfortunately for them, looks like a battle going wrong. A touch maybe for both of them, as Chris Knox gets the shortest sticks, I guess you would say, injury in English. And unfortunately for him, looks like he has a tiny little bit of damage. As the number 10 is also around, looks like just on the exit, or just on the entry of the back straight.
All kinds of stuff happening. Donkin gets a couple of spots back. He's now back up into 8th. And you can see this battle up in front with Griffiths and Sharp. There's still nose to tail. Now Sharp going to look at the outside into Redgate. Does he have anything for him? Casper following? No. They're going to sit back and get back single file, it looks like, back down the hill. These guys, they've run with each other for years at this point. This league traces back to 2014, if not earlier. They know what to do around each other. They know what to do in these cars. They're comfortable doing this lap after lap.
Yeah, it just shows, you know, just running 4 cars running like that lap after lap, going down the inside, around the outside, everything is just with so much respect. Just shows, you know, this is just trust that they build with one another, you know, just racing that closely. As looks like, well, the number 24 goes ahead. He's gonna get a little bit of a shove from the number 5. That's, well, that actually helped him, didn't it?
And that usually does in Spec Miata racing. A bit of a shove will usually help you. So bumpers, yeah, they get used up in Miatas. They generally have to get NASCAR reinforcements even. So they'll work out a Coppice. Now Ben Sharp has that spot that is good enough for 4th. Side by side then transfers for 5th. And that is between Griffiths and Court. Casper on the inside for 9, but will be outside for 10. Lunges into 9 and gets that spot away from the number 11. And they will get now single file. That year 1 machine, that's Mcewen. He started up on pole 3 wide. They'll go down the front stretch.
They're going to go 3 wide into the front stretch. They're going to make it work. Looks like they're going to be going around the outside. Can he make it work? 3 wide into turn 1. That cannot possibly end well. Looks like the driver on the outside is going to be backing off. Well, they make it work, Andrew, and I'm not sure why I'm surprised. I have been watching this for over 10 minutes, and I'm still surprised that that's happening.
We're going to mix it up again. Mcewen now, the inside of Court. He's now back on the outside for the old hairpin and gets that spot, does Casper. This is all for 5th place in the racetrack. 5th, 6th, and 7th. A bit of a bump there from the Excite Energy machine, and they will work up to 7.
Casper does a good job of blocking essentially both of them. Not essentially blocking, just making sure they're absolutely, the run does not get made. The number 11 is going to be lining himself up, trying to get back that 5th place. First, he has to get through, looks like Mcewen right ahead of him, and then tried his luck with Court. Does he get a good enough exit to go side by side into the final chicane? He's pointing. You can see the car. You can see half the car essentially, but the number 4 also has a slipstream from the number 5 right behind. Not quite. Not just this. Looks like the number 4 gets a little bit deeper on the brake. You can see the brakes glowing. Does that affect his exit in any way, shape, or form? Looks like not quite.
Everybody funneling out of the final corner to start a new lap. These drivers are now on lap 9 of an expected 12. And they'll work into Redgate. They will keep mixing things up. I want to look a little deeper in the field for just a moment at a battle going on between Harley Moss, Dan Mold, and Adam Holloway, and actually a position change just ahead of these guys into Redgate now as Liam Silkstone loses a spot to James Clark and to James Neve. So he just lost 2 spots in one corner. Now Clark and Neve going to battle. They'll work down the hill down to turn 4.
And that could just give him those 2 places back. If those 2 get battling and they make any sort of contact, well, that's just going to be giving him his 2 places back, but looks like the number 6 does not really get the best up exit, as you can see. And now we're gonna have a perfect onboard shot with Silkstone. I mean, look at it, Andrew. They're gonna go side by side. Can they go too wide? Look at the number 594. He's gonna be getting a good exit. He's gonna be forced down the outside. Oh, that's just not gonna help him on the exit of the straight, of this corner, actually, on the entry of the straight. Actually, he does, and he makes it work.
Holloway behind, he has a position change with Mold. These guys all battling. This is down around the 10th, 11th, 12th position area. In fact, this is actually 11th, 12th, 13th that we're watching. They'll go down to the chicane as Clark starts to leave, still a side-by-side for 12th. And that's going to get taken back away by Silkstone. Neve going to have to try again.
Yeah, he's going to have to try again, and unfortunately for him, tried to defend for this position. I'm pretty sure he was the one that lost 2 positions within, a sector, you could say. So unfortunately for him, you know, it went from good, but unfortunately he ended up losing both of them. It looks like we're going to have another change of position further back as Harley Moss is chasing those 2 drivers ahead of him. And, well, looks like his teammate's right behind him, so he could, you know, just breathe a little bit from behind, you know, knowing his teammate got his back. He's chasing Holloway just ahead of him. And, well, with 2 minutes and 30 to go, Andrew, time is running out if you want to make those critical, you know, last lap lunges, you could say.
Moss is that yellow and purple 514 following Adam Holloway in the 510, who is following Dan Molt. These guys have been mixing things up as well. This is a little bit deeper in the top 15. In fact, Harley Moss is 16th, so even top 20 if you want to extend it just a little bit further. Derek Crowther is behind these guys. A lot of great battles through the entire field. Michael Seal, in fact, loses a spot to Lars Fischer. Look at these 2 side by side, swapping paint. Now it's Seal back up the inside. He's going to take the 19th spot away. This is inside the top 20, just barely. This is how good the racing here is in the British Sim Racers MX-5s.
The racing is absolutely fantastic. My jaw is essentially on the floor seeing these guys going side by side all race long. As looks like we switch back. Is this for the first
This is
position?
the lead.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there you go. So with 1 minute 40, we're going to have maybe 2 laps to go. Correct, Andrew? So, I mean, Dalmon has been dominating. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen his name exit the first position. So if Williams has anything to essentially get the lead back, well, now's the time to use it.
Yeah, now is the time to go. If you're any one of this top 3, or even if you're Ben Sharp, make up 3 seconds in this last minute? Maybe. Might have to take the grass for a corner or 2, but I think you could make it happen. McNally's going to follow these 2. This is through 7. Now, if you're Williams, where do you make your move, right? Do you wait for turn 9 on the final lap? It seems like that's the best place to wait if you don't want an opportunity for Delmont to try and pass you back. But with this lap car, maybe use him as a pick. No, that lap car is going to move on down on the inside, so that takes that option away. Do you wait for the final corner? I don't think so.
Well, his options will be running out if he does not get a good run out of this chicane. So if he gets a good run, well, you can try to make a move down into turn 1. Looks like that might not be the case. So right now, you either hope that Adam Delmont makes a mistake, or you just line yourself up for the back straight, for the Dunlop straight. So, you know, just running out of options this time as we enter the final lap. Can the number 75 upset? Looks like he gets a better line through turn 1. So is the number 77 feeling a little bit of pressure? I doubt it, but that mistake into turn 1 might be shining a light into the possibility of seeing Williams snatching that lead on the final lap.
Michael Steele has spun. He's further back now outside the top 20. This is still a top 3. And this is the final lap presented by Tucson Sound Art. 2 teammates and 1 random in between them. Delmont, Williams, McNally. Now you finally see the official marker for the final lap. Where does Williams make his move? He's going to have a shot, it looks like, down the Starkey straight and into the chicane for the final time. Sets him up in compass. That's a shot to the shorts. Gets him sideways. Oh. He goes off the racetrack. McNally's going to work around the outside. McNally takes them both, and he's going to move on and I think take this win unless his teammate Delmont can do anything about it. Down to the chicane for the final time. It was a bump and run for Williams, sending Delmont off the course. And look at that. McNally through the final corner is going to come back around and collect a win.
Leading the 1 lap that counted the most.
And like Casper's around.
Casper is going to be spinning around on the final corner. He's going to be losing a few positions. Can he get where he's going to finish? Looks like 8th place for the time being. That's going to be 8th place at the line. What a final lap, Andrew.
And look at all this action coming to the line. That's a side-by-side there. Looks like Mold gets the spot. Harley Ross sat behind him. Sorry, Harley Moss, I believe. And everybody else comes under the checkered flag. What a first race.
What a first race indeed. If this is just the first of 4, well, I'm going to have to get a heart rate monitor because I'm not pretty sure if I'm going to make it through it.
Yeah, wow. It's a great way to put it. 15 minutes done and dusted for these guys. As the final couple of cars come underneath, it looks like that's Kevin McGlone, the last car to come underneath the checkers, maybe now. Yep, here he comes. McGlone will come under the checkered flag, and that will be it. So, this is where we begin the extra little bit, JP, and this is where we begin the stuff that we have not done before. So bear with us for just a moment. We will have a spinner, though. And here it is, even. The race is over. We can take that down. But we have to figure out how we're going to invert this field. A few options on screen for you. You can see a couple of options to invert the entire field of 34. Otherwise, it works up to 25, 9, 13, 11 in there, 7 even. So we have some options to invert this field, and we are going to go ahead, invert the field first, then look through results. So inverting the field, this is going to give us, we'll go ahead and click. Do the spinning wheel, and it's going to land on the invert of 25. 25 is the invert. Oh boy. Results on screen here. Here's your top 10. These guys will all be sent back to 16th through 25th, it looks like, JP. 25-year invert. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. McNally gets your first W on the day. Adam Delmont in second. Ben Williams in third. Then it's Ben Sharp, made those really good moves throughout the top 10. I don't know where he started, but Ben Sharp, congratulations. A little round of applause, please. Moving up into fourth before that race was done. Tom Griffiths fifth. Andrew McEwen sixth after a couple of mishaps, fell back a little bit. Lee Holmes up to seventh. Casper DeCourt in eighth. Nathan Davies in ninth. And Paul Duncan rounds out your top 10. If you work a little further back, these guys, they're actually going to start further up in the next race.
Yeah, James Clark is going to be starting further up on his number 6 in 11th place. Liam Silkstone is going to be finished off in 12th. James Deavy 13th. The 80 of Dan Mould is going to be finished off in 14th. Harley Moss just ahead of Adam Holloway. Thor Tulo, I'm pretty sure that I pronounced that right, in the 17th place. Derek Crowther in 18th place. Chris Knox in 19th place, just ahead of Lars Fisher in 20th.
Yeah, a lot of learning to do with these names, so bear with us for that. And if you have any correct pronunciations, by all means, correct us in the YouTube or Facebook chat. Adam Mitchinson comes across in 21st. He's going to start 5th then behind Douglas Stewart, Fiona Siddons, Michael Seal, and Julian Schroer. So, oddly enough, Michael Seal, who was really aggressive there in the final minutes, had a spin on the final lap or so. He's going to start second in this next race with that invert of 25. Michael Lease will unfortunately just miss it in 26th. Colin Sansom in 27th. James Sharp, 28th. Lauren Murray in 29th. And Glenn Humberstone all the way back in 30th.
And our final 4 drivers, Kevin McGlone is going to be the final driver to finish off in the lead lap in 31st place. Adam Padman, unfortunately, is going to go a lap down in 32nd. 33rd place is going to go to the number 43 of Luke Cooper, 8 laps down. And unfortunately for Aaron Graham, 12 laps down in 34th place.
And if I can just direct your attention to one part of this graphic, it's that left side, that winner column. First place, Adam McNally, 1 lap led, and it was the final lap, and he was just sitting third for the entire race, watching his teammate and Williams go at it side by side, and, well, they certainly did. Well, it was nose to tail for the entire race, really, but it was side by side at a coppice that final time, and McNally had the perfect opportunity to get on through. We've still got 3 races today. By all means, do not leave us at all. We've got 3 races to go. It looks like we were going to wait around for just a moment in case we had a driver or two to top 2. We might still, in fact. We can go ahead and try and get one. Why not? So McNally wins the race. Delmont and Williams, they're next up. Let's see if we can get a hold of our first race winner on the day. And if we can here, JP, there's a lot of channels to go through. If we can, I'll hand him over your way. Looks like we will be able to get him. JP, we've got a first race winner. Well, maybe not. I had him. Regardless, we will finally, here we go. We'll be able to get McNally this time. So, Adam McNally, 1 lap led, and JP is going to have him alongside.
So Adam, it's fantastic to talk to you. I mean, what a final lap. Talk us through your point of view, because we were going crazy seeing what happened on the last lap. One lap led and the lap that counted the most. Looks like we might be having a few issues with Adam McNally. Can we get a copy, Adam? Well, Andrew, looks like Adam McNally is having a bit of, I guess, microphone issues, input issues. So, well, unfortunately, I'm not quite sure if we're going to be able to talk to him. I mean, I wish I could. That final lap, it must have meant something. You could see his celebrations on your screen right now. He almost losing the car, you could say.
Yeah, throwing the car left to right, fishtailing it out of the corner. You can see Casper further back. Let's go ahead, while we wait on the next session to go up, let's take a look at what happened on this final lap for Casper further back, because that was almost a really solid finish for Casper. He would have finished, I think, 6th, and instead finishes 8th, so a couple of spots further down. This will be down the hill for the final time, and we'll let this play at full speed. He's got the year 1 machine of Andy Mcewen behind, and I wonder if maybe there's a little bit of contact between those two that sends him around.
That could definitely be a possibility. Obviously, those sausage curbs could have upset his car as well. Like, highly doubt it, especially being a Miata. But we're gonna have to take a look. He goes for a really opportunistic move, nearly getting 2 drivers within 1 move around the outside. But unfortunately, that move, well, kind of just didn't work out for him. All that run up, unfortunately, on the outside did not work out. He forces his way around the outside quite brilliantly, taps a little bit of the curb, goes a bit wide. That's going to be losing him a bit of touch. And well, all the action happens on the final chicane.
Side by side into the final couple of corners. You see Ben Sharp has taken off at this point. It's a side by side with the 11, and that's Griffiths. And oh, I mean, that you said you didn't think it'd be the curbing for a Miata? Well, definitely was. I mean, that's all Casper at that point. Just got up on the curbing on the inside for 10 and sent that car around. Obviously, sure, Miatas, they can take a curb, right? But if you land down on the chassis, that means the wheels aren't in contact with the road, and that means you're going to have problems. And that's exactly what happened there for the number 5 of Casper to Court, and why he unfortunately goes for a spin there. Nathan Davies almost had a shot at 8th then. I mean, that really shook the top 10 up.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately for Casper, well, that was essentially just a last lap trying to get the position. Unfortunately for him, did not work out. Luckily, he's going to have plenty of time to, look again at that incident and learn from it. Obviously, he now knows that, well, like me, I also know that you can't lose the car, lose the Miata under those heavy sausage curbs. So, well, there we go. So, unfortunately for him, a few positions lost, but, well, definitely some learned knowledge, I could say.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. A couple of things to look at here post-race before we move on over into our next race, race number 2 of the day. The air temp for this one, right around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 83 on the track. Expect that, maybe not exact, but expect pretty close to that. Pretty calm weather the rest of the day here at the virtual Donington Park. And one thing I really want to look at is this, race info. Only 1 lead change somehow, and I think I mistakenly earlier said that Delmont was not your pole sitter. He did get the pole spot. I think I called Mcewen initially getting the pole. He was up there in qualifying. Did not start from pole. It was Delmont, I do believe. Maybe I'm wrong now. I don't know, but only that 1 lead change right at the end. It felt like we were swapping the lead the entire race. It felt like it. We were swapping everything in between first and last, it seems, and that was just a good race.
That was a fantastic race, and with only it being 15 minutes with 3 more to go, I mean, I cannot wait. Obviously, now we could see more lead changes. I guess we're kind of expecting it, but I mean, somehow that was massive props to the top 2, essentially just kept it clean. Delmont and Williams, I mean, they were just chasing one another, and somehow Delmont didn't even feel a tiny little bit of pressure from Williams right behind him. Yeah,
Delmont never made a mistake. The entire 15-minute race, never made a mistake with Ben Williams breathing down his neck, just simply got pushed. And, I mean, in fairness, Ben Williams' sportsmanship, we said this about Fabio Zamperlini in the final round of the North American Racing League, same thing here. Ben Williams did not take advantage of moving his competitor out of the way, let him gather it back up. Yes, they both lost a spot apiece, but Ben Williams, props, did not just hit him, dump him, and go on with the race win. Didn't want to win that way, so props there for Ben. We'll see how they sort it out in race number 2. You can follow us along on social media here at Pit Stop TV. A lot always going on throughout the week, and a lot going on through a lot of our broadcasts, but we will take a step aside here. We've got a little break. We will get into the next race. We've got 3 more races to go, so don't go anywhere. We rejoin you from the virtual Donington Park just in time to join the grid, and our new pole sitter, Julian Schroer. The name I have to work on the most is going to be on pole for us this time for race number 2. Julian will start from pole. You can see Michael Steele gridded up in second place, so that top 25 invert that has been done to our grid, and props to the British Sim Racers admins for getting that done so quickly. I never could have done that quick. I don't know how you guys inverted so many so quickly. That is pretty wild. We got 15 more minutes of racing action. Let's take a look at the weather while these guys get gridded up and their paint's all load. A little bit warmer, 65 degrees in the air, but the track is much warmer. Seems like we're midday, and this asphalt has been baked just a little bit in the virtual Castle Donington.
Different track temperatures, different, maybe even track tire temperatures. So this could throw a spinner in the mix, as I like to say it. And this could prove interesting for some of these drivers. Well, it's gonna be, might be a completely different experience. Looks like we had a puff of smoke. I'm not pretty sure if someone already burned us up, but well, we do have the green flag, and lights out, and away we go.
Problems up front for one car. Bit of wheel spin already. They worked out to turn 1. Redgate already a challenge for the race lead. Seal around the outside. Teammates there on the inside for turn 1. Seal's gonna have to battle with them both. A lot of pro-ams now at the front of the field. Those are those blue names.
Those Bulls names are trying to get it mixed up. Looks like Seal is not quite going to get the lead just yet. He's going to be forced down defensively, quite getting an aggressive line. Oh, it looks like the leader will spin out of control. He's going to be out of contention. And somehow, Knox, out of 4th place, gets the lead.
Julian gets control of his car. A couple more cars off. That's the 927 in the dirt. Crowther losing a spot as well. He's side by side with Stewart. A lot of action on this first lap. A couple more cars in the dirt out of turn 7. Look at that massive machinery to turn 8.
Are we in Knock Hill? Looks like a couple of drivers are going on that rallycross route, as the grid is all sort of mixed up, as we're going to have a pro top 3. Knox, Fisher, and Seal, as Crowther is still in 4th place. As you can see now, looks like, is that a battle for the lead, Angel? Looks like it is. Well, it's not going to stop anytime soon.
This is for the race lead. Michael Seal in 3rd. He now goes in the grass at a turn 10. Across the line, though, leader at the line, that's Lars Fischer.
Looks like Fisher just snapped Knox. He's going to be forced around the outside. And looks like Knox keeps the lead, but look at it. The under and over might just work out for him. As you can see, the ticker move, as we do have another battle. We're going to have all battles throughout the grid, as we do have the number 77 trying to make up positions. His teammate is right behind him, Adam McNally, our last race winner, trying to get back into the front, but well, looks like the challenge now is completely different. As from applying pressure, you just try to make your way through the grid with your teammate. Look at that teamwork, both of them getting one car. As we're gonna have a car, looks like 1, 2,
oh my goodness,
3, 4. Oh, as the teammates collide, we're gonna have a lot of cars off. Oh my god.
Harley Moss is one of those involved. Oh my gosh, the hits keep coming. That's the 77 of Delmont that we just watched so much of in the previous race. His left rear is shot. I mean, he is destroyed. The rest of the field continues on. Lars Fischer, your race leader. Look at the top 3. They've broken away from 4th place Ben Sharp. He's already back into 4th. Are you kidding me?
Well, that guy's definitely going on a charge, and he's definitely happy with that result. He's gonna have company around the inside. I almost made contact on the final chicane, but somehow they moved Betty Cleany, as the number 24 now has only 3 targets ahead of him to chase down, as Lars Fischer looks like he's gonna be posting the fast lap time, 1:18.747, as we do have the number 4 trying to get past. Looks like he's already up to 8th place, so a fantastic drive so far for him. Well, only a few drivers left ahead of him, but Sharp, absolutely amazing race.
This is incredible. I mean, this is incredible stuff. I love this chaotic invert for the 2nd race of the season. I mean, this is fantastic. We're on board here with Andrew Mcewen, who was pretty good in that previous race, the first race of the day. Fell back a little bit through the top 10, though. Now he's into 8th, working through this inverted field and just trying to get back up front. We've already seen a lot of chaos for some of our previous front runners, but that's the way it goes sometimes. When you go and invert 25 cars, when you go and invert any of these cars, that's what happens.
Exactly. And well, I mean, that just provides us with fantastic racing and provides these guys a brand new challenge. I mean, completely shaking up everything that they hoped for in the first race. You know, just absorbing pressure, trying to get your thing straight. Now you have to avoid certain instances. You have to make your way through mistakes. It's just a completely different scenario as we switch back to the front. Fisher absolutely, well, he's driving off 14ths of a second. Seal unfortunately made a mistake. He's going to be losing quite a lot of contact to the top two, so we're gonna have a battle. Looks like second place is the fastest car on track so far. Well, I take that back.
Casper in 5th place that we're watching now in all of this group goes faster. Now, the 11 of Griffiths goes faster. We saw a lot of Griffiths in qualifying as well. Tom Griffiths, one of those drivers to watch. You watch this entire group work down the hill. This is lap number 4, and think of all the action that we've already seen in these first 4 laps. Well, first 3 laps, really. Now 3.5, as we got a pass here. Mcewen up the inside. That is Derek Crowther losing a spot. Now into the hands of Thor Tullo, it looks like.
He moves himself into 7th place. Has looks like Silkstone ahead of him, as we did have another driver posting the fastest time of the race so far, as the number 44 of Thor Tullo, trying to find his way past the drivers out ahead of him, trying to get a good exit into the back straight. You can see kind of the front end slipping away. The number 8, he's going to be flipping. Oh, he's going to be making contact, and we're going to have 2 cars spinning around, as we did have a third at one moment, and that's going to be race over. Ben Williams, unfortunately, is going to be towing back to the pit lane.
Yeah, Ben Williams destroyed in that accident across the line, though. There go our race leaders, Lars Fischer and Chris Knox. Dan Mold is going to try and get back to the pit lane. Our pole sitter from this race, Julian Schorer, out of all of that, gets sorted way back, and looks like Chris Knox is actually just taking the race lead. Let's go back up front.
Now, I was just going to mention that race, that switch up was just so quick, and somehow he already pulled 0.2 of a second. So I'm assuming a mistake on the final chicane for Fisher ended up costing him the lead. They're driving away from Seal. The number 57 cannot keep up the pace of the top 2 for the time being. Ben Sharp trying to get that gap closed up a little bit. Silkstone doing a fantastic job in 6th place as the leader of the Pro-Am class, as we're back on board the number 44. Well, looks like he made his way through his rival the last lap, so if he can keep this up, I mean, in a few laps time, he's going to be leading the race if he can get 1 car per lap. But unfortunately for him, it's not going to be, looks like he's not going to have that pace to hold up, unfortunately, as he's chasing, looks like now 9th place, correctly?
Yeah, he's chasing Davies right now in the 27. And ahead of Davies is Crowther, who we saw a lot of action from that last lap. Looks like a lot of mixing up further back as well. Colin Sampson maybe in the mix of things. Here we go. One of the Year 1 cars. Lots of spot to Dan Mold. And here is Dan Mold, who we just saw a lot of in that accident with Julian Schroer, our pole sitter for this race out of the invert. Schroer is now in 21st. Out of all of that, the number 444 has dropped all the way down to 21st after starting on pole, and we're not even halfway.
Unfortunately for him, it's a disaster of a race start. Yeah, unfortunately, luck was on his side during the spin, but unfortunately, you know, during the races, we do have a car. It looks like on the gravel on the exit of turn 1. That's going to be the number 43, and unfortunately for him, that might just be race over, as we don't have officially a name. The car just Luke Cooper, and unfortunately, his car is just rolling back. So I'm not pretty sure if it's a hardware issue, but it's not supposed to be going that way.
No, it's not. Hopefully nobody hits him there in turn 1. We'll continue on, though. Up front, you can see our top 5. They're a little bit broken up as Michael Seal now has company for that 3rd spot. And it's Ben Sharp following, then Casper DeCourt. This is your, the back end of the top 5, I suppose.
Yeah, Ben Sharp is doing a fantastic lap time. He brought that gap to the leaders down to 4 seconds to 2.5. So right now, if he passes Seal, he's going to have a good shot. Obviously, he's pulling away the number 5, Court, just behind him, as looks like Seal made a mistake on the final chicane. He's going to be losing 1 spot to Sharp. Can Court trying to get it ahead of him as well? He's going to be looking down the inside. Will he? Yes, he is. Are they going to fit 3 cars into turn 1? Yes, they will. Looks like, unfortunately, Seal is going to be losing 2 spots. Wow, unfortunately for him, in the spanner of 1 straight, he's going to be losing 2 spots.
And up front, the leaders change again. Fisher gets that spot now back over Knox. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You can see a little bit of 6th, 7th, 8th, and on in this as well. You can even see our leaders out of turn 4. And it looks like Fisher and Casper, they're teammates, and they are controlling this top few right now. Top 5, it looks like, as they are 1st and 4th. And honestly, I think it's a matter of time until this 5 car gets by the 24 of Sharp. They finally got by Seal, but they've got to do with one more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is just gonna get so exciting to see when everybody bunches up. If the top two keeps battling, they're just gonna allow the second pack, these three cars, to get close to them. So if they do decide to battle for the lead, if they do it in a smart way, you know, just let them go away. Don't go side by side through many corners. Well, we're gonna have essentially a group battle. But if they start battling too hard, those top three behind, the top five, they're gonna catch up really, really quickly.
Position change back here for Liam Silkstone. Loses his spot to Andrew Mcewen. These guys are in front of Crowther, Davies, and Donkin for your top 10. Further back, it's McNally, Tullo, Sharp, Griffiths, and Neve, your top 15, and a few other drivers were... Man, I mean, this has just been fantastic stuff. It looks like Davies now has a challenge from Crowther. Watching this little battle go on, this is for 8th and 9th now.
Crowther trying to get that position back, trying to close the gap to his near rival on the Pro-Am category, Silkstone. He has to get past Davies right ahead of him. The gap is shortening as we do have a battle just behind. Looks like McNally just made his way into the top 10. And, well, might just keep going on the charge.
We have battles everywhere at this point. Take your pick and we'll show it. This is the 47, though, of Adam McNally that we saw so much of in Race 1. And the driver in front asking not to be punted, that's Paul Donkin. Just lost 10 spot to McNally. And McNally, of course, with that win that we just called out, and that's not how you take that corner, but James Sharp going to take advantage of it for Thor.
Yeah, looks like, unfortunately for him, he had company on the inside, and that just made him go way too wide on the exit on the entry of that corner. Unfortunately for him, losing 2 spots just like that. It's just so easy if you got a bad exit. If he can line himself up a good exit, he might have an answer back, but it looks like it's not going to be this way. Oh!
That was Thor. And that's... Did he not hit anything?
Yeah, and that's
no,
not
I think
a damaged
he did.
car.
I think he did. I mean, it's
the mirror's
really hard
kind
to
of
tell.
hanging off, looks like.
The way that car is painted, you can't tell by the left rear quarter panel. It's already black. Yeah, he's got some damage there on the left side. He definitely pancaked that wall a little bit. Up front, some change for the position again. Knox now back out front of Lars Fischer. Ben Sharp still holds third. But they are closing. Look at that. Casper and Sharp, they're closing. They're working together right now.
Yeah, less than a second right now separating the top 3, and soon it's going to be less than a second separating the top 4. So those top 2 battling for the lead, they're slowing themselves down, allowing Sharp and Court to just close on by lap after lap, corner after corner. So, well, looks like right now everything is a race. We pretty much have a 4-car battle for the lead.
Watching here with Casper. Of course, had that spin out of 6th down to 8th out of the final corner on the final lap in race 1. This is race number 2 now, and he's got an opportunity for a whole lot more. Has worked through this invert up into the 4th spot following Ben Sharp, who was aggressive in race 1. I think we can see a lot more of the same here in these final couple of laps. They have, for all intents and purposes, caught the top 2, and now look at that. Lars Fischer drops back a little bit. I think if he's able to work with Casper to Court, those 2 can easily take these others, Chris Knox and Ben Sharp. I mean, it'll be easy. It's 2 versus 1, right?
Yeah, exactly. If they're teammates, they can coordinate some sort of attack or maybe even a defense to try and help one another. Obviously, Court is sort of in a backhand. If he can find a way past Sharp, well, they might just be unbeatable. Looks like he got a good exit. Can he make a move this early? Could compromise his try to find a way down the outside, which will be the inside for this corner right here, but unfortunately did not get too close. The number 10 nearly getting contact from the number 24, and as you can see here, the number 10 goes defensive, forces Sharp around the outside. That's going to allow Court to go down the inside, might just get him a good enough run. His teammate forcing, there we go, that's teamwork. They're going to be making contact. Sharp is going to be going onto the grass, holds the car, and Court now finds himself in 2nd place.
Bit of a Formula 1 corner exit there, wasn't it? Just go ahead and assert yourself at the racing line. Hey, it's Spec Miata Racing. I love it. I am very much here for it. That allows Casper to go on through. Now 3 wide as they pass the Swift Cooper machine, the number 923, the lapped car. And 3 wide, they'll go down to Redgate.
Look at Sharp. Sharp got the best exit because he was further away from that lapped car. Unfortunately for Fischer, that defense movement ended up not helping him at all as he loses 2 position. Now back to 4th position. And I mean, Knox, he has to hold these 2 guys, Sharp and Court, for 2 extra laps.
The old hairpin now. And Sharp still all over the back end of now Casper to Court. These two have swapped and have moved Lars Fischer out of the way. So, all in all, that was certainly a backfire for Lars, I think. But for his teammate, Casper, to go on through and take second now with a minute to go. We'll get the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art this next time through. And at this point now, it's 1v1v1. I don't know what Lars can do from that fourth spot when it seems Casper and Ben have been so much quicker through Coppice for the penultimate time. Man, I don't know.
Knox just has to try to defend with all his might to try and get this win. As you can see, already going defensive. He got a worse run to Court. Court is going to be forcing him to go into that inside line, getting a better line overall through the chicane, trying to line himself up for the best corner exit possible. Looks like the best corner exit might be from Sharp right behind him. As you can see now, Court going down the outside. They're nearly going to make contact. Sharp is going to be looking down the inside. Be ready for the 3 wide situation. Not quite. Can Court force his way around the outside into turn 1? Not quite. Knox somehow finds the defense mechanism in him and keeps his lead.
Lars Fischer sitting back, watching these top 3 go at it. Still Knox, Court, then Sharp. And they'll work down the hill for the final time. This is the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art through turn 4. Sharp, very much on that apex. A really good corner, going to have a shot up the hill to 7 maybe if he wants to take it. I think these guys wait for the chicane once again. Maybe?
I just have to. Sharp is kind of just looking down the inside for any.
He's going to go for the gap.
Oh, they nearly made contact. That was just all so close. And that might
Lars.
just be it for Sharp. Look at it. His teammate, Court's teammate, just helps him out right here. Gets the perfect exit. Unfortunately, runs a bit too wide. That's going to be compromising his speed overall through the straight. Did Court get a slowdown?
That's a great question. 3 wide for second. Court falls back. He's going to lose those couple of spots. Here comes Mcewen to take 4th away from him. This is side by side for second. Up front. Oh, Ben Sharp, what a corner. But Chris Knox is going to win race number 2. Ben Sharp through the final couple of corners. I don't know where that came from. 2nd place for Sharp. 3rd for Fischer, 4th for the Court, 5th for Mcewen. What a final lap, and somewhere further back there, Seal had problems. He has a crash on this final lap. He drops way down the order. I'm still looking for him. He comes across in 14th.
What a final lap. I mean, Andrew, everything looks like it's happening all throughout the race, but a final lap seems to be the icing on the cake. It's just, well, I mean, we have another car. Look at it. He's going to be finishing off, looks like with 3 wheels on the grass. Does he get close enough to the ticker? He does, looks like, in the number 11 as well, with only 3 wheels, so a lot has happened on this final lap again.
That was Michael Leese at the cross of the line. This is Tom Griffiths trying to finish. Oh, my goodness. Tom Griffiths will finish this race. We'll allow him to do so, then we'll go ahead and determine our invert. It looks like Nathan Davies has not finished this final lap. He was the other driver involved with Michael Seal. We'll take a look back at that here in a moment. Across the line, that will do it, though, for our racing portion of race number 2 anyways. Let's go on over and consult the spinny wheel one more time. You can see it's reset right back there at 25. We'll go ahead, spin it again, let things do its work. A few options here. Where's it going to invert? 21. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a lot again.
That's going to mix things up one more time. And, well, luckily for these drivers, might just be the second to last time that things are going to get mixed up. Maybe next time we only get 17. Maybe it's just 7 cars. Well, Andrew, we might even get a full grid mix-up.
We're going to get most of the grid mixed up. We had 33 cars that joined this second race. Let's go ahead and roll through our finishing results. So 21 is the invert. Keep that in mind as we go through this order. Chris Knox wins. So he's going to start 21st in this next race. Ben Sharp is going to start 20th after finishing 2nd. You work on further through, you get Lars Fischer 3rd. Casper de Court finishes 4th, and all of that. This slowdown, you called it out. You caught that. I did not. Good catch there with Casper de Court. The slowdown out of Coppice, that drops him down to 4th position. Andrew Mcewen couldn't quite take advantage of it. Liam Silkstone, we didn't say his name that entire second race. He will finish 6th. Derek Crowther in the 7th spot. Then you got James Sharp, Paul Duncan, and James Clark to round out this top 10. These Brits are wild.
Yes, they are, and these races are getting crazier and crazier. I mean, I'm ready for 2 more. I'm gonna be out of breath. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through. But James Neve makes it through in 11th place. Douglas Stewart in 12th, just ahead of Thor Thulo in 13th place. Dan Mold's gonna be finished off in 14th, ahead of Julian Schroer in 15th place. Adam Mitchinson is gonna be finished off in 16th. Lauren Murray in 17th. 18th spot is going to be going to Harley Moss. Lee Holmes in 19th, just ahead, less than 0.2 of a second, a bit more than 0.2 of a second separating those two, and Colin Samsam in 20th place.
Would you like to guess who finished 21st? And by virtue of the invert, we'll get to start first. Take a guess.
All right, I'm going to take a wild guess here. I'm going to say, is it going to be McNally?
Go get a lottery ticket.
Well, there we go.
Adam
and he
McNally.
as well. He should get one as well.
Yeah, for real. Adam McNally is going to start from pole for race number 3, finishes 21st in this one when it's all said and done. That was hectic there at the end for him. I don't even know what happened to him. And he drops down to 21st spot, but we'll get to start from pole for the next one. Michael Seal, boy, doesn't he wish it was 23 to start from second again? He will start from 22nd after finishing 22nd here. Tom Griffiths back there in 23rd. Michael Leese in 24th. Nathan Davies, Arwen Graham, Glenn Humberstone, Luke Cooper, Kevin McGlone, and Ben Williams. The rest of the top 30, you go back through, there's 3 more cars to cover. Those being Adam Delmont, Adam Holloway, and Fiona Siddons. It looks like there's a scoring discrepancy between Delmont and Holloway. I'm sure the admins will do with that as they need to. They go back and review that from, all the way back lap 3, I think, 10 laps ago. So they'll get that sorted. But yeah, one thing is telling me Delmont ahead of Holloway, and this is telling us Holloway rather in front of Delmont. So I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a lot of racing in 2021 here, JP. I'm thrown for a whirlwind right now. I've had to broadcast late models at real racetracks. We've had legend cars at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've had numerous things here on iRacing, be it stock cars at any oval you could imagine. We've had GT3 cars all over the world. Nothing has thrown me for a loop quite like these Miatas at Donington Park today.
I mean, I'm on the same boat, Andrew. I mean, I'm just crazy. I have no words. And when do you see me without words? I mean, I'm always talking, and I mean,
yeah, it's our job to talk. We're both speechless.
Yeah, I mean, this is just crazy seeing these guys going this wild for 15 minutes. I mean, throw me some word. I'm ready for 2 more because
I filled up on water before the race, so I at least came prepared in that respect. I made sure to fill up on water because I knew it would be pretty crazy.
I'm already done with a Red Bull bottle and a water bottle, so I'm pretty sure I need to restock those because I'm pretty sure these last 2 might get a little bit more wild.
Yeah, a little more wild is an understatement. 2 more races to go. We have 4 races for each of these BSR meetups, if you will, meetings, rounds, whatever you want to call them. And we've got 8 more of these Mazda days to go, these Mazda Tuesdays. Of course, we have TCRs on Thursdays. We'll get to all of that a little bit later on today and, of course, later in the week. Boy, strap in. We've got a lot of racing still to go. We've still got 30 minutes of Miata racing here at the virtual Donington Park. Do not, and I mean this, do not go anywhere. We've got a lot more British Sim Racers action on the way. Welcome back to the virtual Donington Park. Race 3 on the way. The sun dropping in the sky just a little bit, getting a little closer to that horizon. This is a little bit of a practice, a warm-up for these drivers. You can see already Ben Williams going quick. A couple of other drivers that are fast in this little practice. Lee Holmes, James Clark, Tom Griffiths, and Fiona Siddons. However, we have 30 more minutes of racing to go in 2 more races, so 15 and 15, 4 15-minute races on the day, of course. JP, welcome back. This has been fun.
I mean, fun is an understatement, isn't it? It has been absolutely insane what these drivers have been showing us. And, well, knowing that we're going to be doing this for the next 8 weeks just calms me down, but it kind of just gets my heart racing because I know next week we're going to have this over again. And, well, I cannot wait. I mean, Andrew, we're under 2-3 minutes to go for the next race. The next 15-minute race. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? The past 2 have been absolutely wild, unpredictable, and insane, I guess that's the word.
There's a look at the Donington Park Racing Circuit national layout. We're going to need the popcorn that one of our viewers, one of my friends, David Levine, has currently. Thanks to him for watching. But we have a driver to quickly speak with. That's Chris Knox. And Chris, wild is an understatement for that last race.
Yeah, it was interesting. Not quite on the pace with the front guys yet, so it was just a bit of a defending mission and making sure I was leading when the other guys caught up, just so I could back in and try and gap them a little bit, but it didn't seem to work. Got held up by a bit of a back marker, which held me up initially, but then obviously caused the guys behind to go 3 wide, which gave me the gap again. So yeah, it was just a hanging on mission really to the end.
Now, what do you look for in a Mazda here at Donington Park specifically, and how do you approach these races, especially only being 15 minutes?
It's just surviving in this series. I got taken out in race 1, unfortunately, by the guy that I was battling with at the front. So I was a bit wary of getting too close to him. But yeah, he raced really fair, and yeah, we swapped the lead a few times, which was good fun.
Now we're throwing you way to the back, 21st or so, for race number 3. How do you approach the start? We've seen how hectic they can be, especially down the hill to the old hairpin.
Yeah, the setup I'm running is a bit loose on the first lap, so it's just hanging on the first lap and then push forward. Try and make up a few places, but we'll try and hopefully get to sort of between 15 and 10th and try and get a decent reverse for the final race of the evening.
Well, there you have it, Chris Knox. You got a couple more races to go. Who makes it happen for you?
Who makes it or what makes it?
Either one. Do you have any partners, sponsors, a team?
No, nothing at all, just running solo.
There you go, Chris Knox. Going to take one more crack at things. We got a couple more races to go. Buddy, best of luck to you.
Cheers, thank you.
That's Chris Knox, fresh off of a win in that last one. He's started the day pretty well. This first half of the day has gone nicely for him. He's going to have a chance to go at it a little bit more. Andy, or not Andy, I'm used to saying Andy for some reason. I don't know why, but Adam McNally will start up front here for race number 3 after winning race number 1. I think some of the competitors maybe wish he could have been sorted further back in this field for this 3rd race, but regardless, he will start up front for this 3rd one. Cullen Sampson will start from the 2nd spot, Lee Holmes 3rd, Harley Moss 4th, then Lauren Murray 5th, and the rest of the top 10 will be Mcewen, Schroer, Mold, Tullo, and Stewart. Waiting on the signal from iRacing.com, official flagman Barney up there in his post, and it looks like maybe waiting for a couple more cars to meet themselves on the grid. Let's take a quick look at the weather then while we wait. 65 degrees about Fahrenheit, 68 on the track. It's cooled down a little bit. Here we go. Waiting on those red lights to go ahead and tick down and change green. We'll see a whole lot of smoke in just a moment. These guys going to drop the clutches. There we go. The entire field down to turn 1. 3 wide into red gate. They'll work down now to turn number 2. Down the hill, 1 already around.
Looks like we did have our first casualty in lap 1. I was ready to shout, well, looks like turn 1 was clean for everybody, but unfortunately it wasn't. Looks like the 511 of Derek Crowther is the first casualty.
Oh, here we go.
Luckily for him. Oh, looks like we're going to have a bit more. Can the 35 avoid the wall? Yes, he can, just barely. Like using that gravel trap to essentially slow the car a little bit down. Lee Holmes luckily avoids the wall, but looks like, well, the top 3, the top 10 as well remains unchanged as the lead is absolutely driving off into the sunset, as we do have battles further away for 4th place. Looks like it's just being settled, and we do have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cars into the gravel trap there, Andrew.
Yeah, a lot of crashing further back. Michael Seal is involved in it. He was mid-pack after not being gifted a good starting spot this time. And Lars Fischer is back here, completely crashed in turn 7. A lot of drivers, a lot of damage in this first lap. Up front, though, I did it again, Adam McNally, going to take away with the race lead by over a second, 3 seconds, in fact. Back to Dan Mold, 1 lap complete.
Take it away, he did. I mean, look at that gap, 3.5 seconds in 1 lap. I mean, as they call it, this might be just his race to lose at this point, as we do have a battle for 2nd place. Mold trying to get past actually for 2nd place, as he does so guarantees himself in the 2nd position. Looks like Moss is going to be holding himself into 3rd place, the lead of the Pro-Am category, but Stewart is right behind him. He's going to be trying something. Well, looks like the battle for 2nd might not just be over at this time, being Mold cannot really get a good exit as the old chicane. Is he under threat?
Meanwhile, further back, you see Sansom off the racetrack. A lot of crashes still back up front. Mold has not lost that spot. I don't think we're going to. Well, I say that. Mold on the outside around Compass, it looks like. We'll go down the Starkey Straight. Oh, a big crash.
Oh.
That's Casper in the middle of it. That was actually at a 7. This is Compass. Casper to court, a lot of damage.
Oh, he's just sitting on the middle of the racetrack. He's going to have to wait for the whole grid.
Oh.
Oh, that was quite close. Perfect. I guess you could call it nearly perfectly timed re-entry, but luckily for him, he does not lose a lot of position. He rejoins in the mid-pack of the top 20, and well, unfortunately for him, that's going to be a small mistake. Mold kind of just drives a bit away. McNally absolutely driving off well over 2 seconds just on this lap alone, as looks like we're going to have the top, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Pro-Am battling for the lead of their respective class. Stewart's going to be going down the inside. He's going to be getting that position from us, as Schroer is just looking behind in 5th place.
Good look back from Dan Mold. We'll go back now to Douglas Stewart. This is 3rd place, 4th behind. This is a Pro-Am battle. All 3 of these guys in this little battle are Pro-Am drivers. Douglas Stewart, Harley Moss, and Julian Schroer, who is now in a decent spot after all of that in the previous race. They're working underneath the bridge, underneath Starkey's bridge, that is, and they'll go to turn 7.
Looks like they're going to be going to turn 7 in a line, essentially. Everybody just following one another, as we did have a battle further behind. Looks like that battle was kind of suspended for the time being. Looks like that might have been Neva. Look at this battle, Andrew.
And that's the number 11 of Williams, I think, taking the spot. In the middle of all of this, you can see Chris Knox, who just won that last race. Ben Williams right in front of him. Ben Williams, we saw a lot of in that first race. We thought had a chance to win. Ended up shoving another driver off track and kind of sat back. I got to think about who that driver was. It was one of the Excite Energy cars, I do believe. But the name is slipping my mind for whatever reason. Tom Griffith's right in front of him, though, one of their teammates. This is how it's all sorting out, just outside the top 10. 10th place currently, if you're wondering, goes to Liam Silkstone as we complete the 3rd lap.
As you can see, everybody just switching up fastest lap after fastest lap. Now McNally is not the fastest car on track, so Mold with clean air might just be able to bring that gap down, but it's still 6 seconds. So it's going to be a big challenge, a mountain of a challenge here in England. And well, look at that train, Andrew. Absolutely everybody just following in line, as we did have one car going side by side. That's going to be the 444. And we do have a car
Ben Sharp.
the grass. Yeah, Ben Sharp gets the car under control, keeps it pointing in the right direction. Unfortunately, he's going to be losing a few spots, but I guess he will take that over losing your car completely.
Yeah, and one of his friends said one of his moves that he likes to make is going through the dirt, going through the sand a little bit. Well, that was off the wrong way. That's not going to help him going off in the grass that time. Gets back on the racetrack now in the 10th spot, so dropped all the way behind Liam Silkstone that we were talking about a little bit ago. You can see the battle in front, though. James Sharp in part of it. James Sharp on the outside is, look at that send from Liam. Over the curbing, he caught air.
Well, he absolutely made the best out of that dive bomb. Was absolutely amazing to see, and well, he absolutely made it work. Somehow he finds his way past, but he's going to be under pressure into turn 1.
This battle right around the cut of the top 10, if you will. Ben Sharp back on the inside now of Liam Silkstone, trying to get that spot back. And you can see Harley Moss and more fighting in front. We'll let Ben Sharp sort this out and go to that battle, as that's a foursome working down the hill. Look at this train of cars.
Absolutely amazing sight to see. Well, I'm not going to get tired of it. Even by the end of the fourth race, this is just going to be on my mind for the remainder of the week. As it looks like Neve made a mistake. He's absolutely dropping off the order. So unfortunately for him, he's going to be dropping outside of the top 10 at this moment.
Yeah, James Neve is stuck back here, it looks like. Oh, that car is destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely destroyed. That's going to be the end of his race tonight, the third race at least, as it looks like we're switching back to the leader. Look at that gap, Andrew, 5.1. It was at 6 seconds, so Mold somehow pulled 9/10 of a second.
Oh, look at this.
Look at that train.
Ben Sharp is in this. They've all caught each other, so Ben Sharp is just insane. He is mental, as these guys might say. Liam Silkstone up the inside. He's going to go up the inside of Harley Moss. Liam gets that spot. Harley Moss now turns in just in front of Ben Sharp. Ben Sharp, oh, look at the drift. What?
I shouted twice because I thought he overcorrected. Somehow that car is pointing at the right direction, and he's in fourth place.
I'm speechless again. Ben Sharp, what are you doing out at the inside? Here comes the number 6 of Clark, having a go at Douglas Stewart. I mentioned David Levine. He's got a lot of Spec Miata experience. He'll know these cars can hit curves, but not like that. I don't know how Ben Sharp hung on to that race car.
I'm going to make a petition for the race directors to put heart rate monitors on each and every single one of these drivers to see how high it goes under those circumstances, because I'm pretty sure his heart was on his mouth at that point.
We'll work up the hill now to turn 7. This is on board of Tom Griffiths, right behind James Cooper, one of the Swift Cooper machines. He's going to go up the inside. Sorry, James Clark. I saw Cooper and put it in there. That's James Clark in the number 6 just ahead. And you say heart rate monitor. It's funny you mentioned that. Who was it in the YouTube chat? Elias2K9 was mentioning we should just get smartwatches. Just get an Apple Watch. It'll monitor that for us.
There we go. I'm 100% with you on that. And then we can have a competition by the end of the race, because, I mean, this cannot be like none of them is going to be under 150 heart beats per minute. Absolutely not.
Hey, David chiming in saying the best way to get the car to rotate is in the air. Well, as long as you have 2 tires meeting the ground, I suppose that works out. Ben Sharp gets another spot, battling with Silkstone. You can see that 3 wide ahead is, here we go, Clark punts one off, and Griffiths makes contact almost up and over. My gosh. And there we go, look at the year 1 car up the inside in the dirt. That is a proper pass in the grass.
There we go, that has been done. I mean, did you see how many cars passed him on that short span of time? I mean, I guess that's just everything you need to know about British sim racers.
Dale Earnhardt, eat your heart out. That was Mcewen up the inside and through the grass in turn 2 to try and get the spot on Sharp, and he had it for a moment. He had the spot properly, then lost it back in turn 4. Now going to try at it again. This is turn 7. Mcewen actually just trying to defend from Ben Williams right now. Williams is in this battle in the top 10. Chris Knox is there as well. Tom Griffiths in all of this. James Sharp going to try and distance himself by a little more than 6 feet, I'd say.
A little bit more. He's social distancing, you could say, and he makes it work. I mean, look at this, Andrew. I'm not going to get tired of this anytime soon. This has to be the new bar that we need to set on our Pit Stop TV, isn't it?
Yeah, we need a whole lot more of this as Williams checks up in the corner, has to give that spot to Mcewen. Griffiths, a shot in the shorts to the 888 of Knox. We still got 5.5 minutes to go.
I mean, this is just going to get crazier and crazier for 5 minutes to go as these drivers... Oh, that was an aggressive door shot right there. He's going to be trying his way around the outside, trying to get the under and over. Can he get the car under? Yes, he can. That might be a beautiful move if it's... Well, if it's finished, he has 2 wheels on the grass.
That's another pass in the grass.
There we go, and that's Knox again.
Yeah, that time that was Knox through the grass. The first time it was Mcewen. Knox going to have the spot, the line for turn 4, though. Williams around the outside. They're going to hold just even out of the corner. The help going to go the way of Williams, though. Here comes Griffiths trying to help him. This is all right around 8th and 9th, in fact, that we're battling for. Knox back up the inside, just at the right rear quarter panel of that Mazda. Maybe 3 wide. Do we think about it, Decapis? No, the 11 goes back up the left.
And it looks like that's just going to be lining himself up properly into the back straight. Can he get a good enough run to try and upset, try and get maybe just one position at this time? Not quite. Looks like the two drivers ahead of him got better runs. Oh, looks like maybe even Knox got a better run overall. Looks like they're all going to be holding back. None of them want to make a move down into the chicane. Looks like the number 35 kind of got loose in their braking, but gets the car under control as they're still in a straight line, Andrew.
Lee got loose because he had to shove it into the corner so deep to get by Thortullo, and he's now, oh my, look at that move for Chris Knox up the inside of Ben Williams. He's got the spot for a moment. You can see from the onboard here, this is back to a TV camera, and Knox clearly has that spot. Williams is going to have to fall back into ninth now.
He's going to have to hold off just a tiny little bit. I mean, this is just going to get crazier and crazier now. 3 minutes and 50 to go. I mean, I'm doubting we're gonna see any contact between these two. We're just gonna see.
Doubting? Have you seen the rest of this race? We're gonna see some contact. We're gonna see a fender at some point.
I mean, we might see a bumper just flying off into the distance, but I'm pretty sure each and every single one of them is going to be pointing at the right direction. The number 75 Williams tries to get the move just a tiny, just trying to get the nose under there to upset Knox ahead of him. Not quite close enough. He's going to be lining himself up to the back straight. Can he get a good enough exit? Looks like for the first part it was. Is it enough? Looks like not quite this time around.
He'll have a go again. They'll work down the Starkey straight. You can see number 12. That is actually a lap car, I believe, behind Andy Mcewen. Oh, there it is!
Oh!
Griffiths gets completely turned by Holmes. They both go off in the dirt. Holmes in the apex of 10. Griffiths in the apex of 9. And they are going to lose tons of spots. Not sure what happened. Griffiths and Holmes both get back going, and I think they will do so civilly. Yes.
It might have just been a late move for Holmes, just pointing, just getting the nose where it wasn't really available. Somehow that promotes Delmont into the top 10, so that's a reason to celebrate for him into the top 10 once again. But well, the battle for 8th is definitely not over yet.
Delmont's the name I couldn't think of earlier. This is a battle a little further back. Seal and Crowther going at it. Seal trying to recover and hopefully get a nice little bonus out of this finishing position and maybe try and work the invert a little bit to his advantage. This is on Crowther and Clark, one of the Swift Cooper machines now. Seal going to look up the left side maybe of the 511. Had a look, decides not to, going to sit back behind. Up front, a whole lot of battles going on, but it's all out of McNally. He's going to exit turn number 10 with it looks like 2 laps to go, and he will do so. 2 laps to go for the number 47 for Excite Energy. Further back, you've got Dan Mold in second, completely uncontested. It's 8 seconds back to Ben Sharp, in fact, who's got an extra second almost to Liam Silkstone. Things have really sorted out in the top 10, but it's where you get to Ben Williams and Chris Knox that gets back going.
What did you say? Things were settled back in the top 10, and we just cut straight into a shot of a car drifting on the final corner. Definitely not over this battle for what looks like it's going to be 7th position, as it looks like Moss got quite involved in that. The number 75 trying to make his way around the outside of turn 1. Looks like couldn't really get the run done, and he's just going to have to wait a bit. Knox, well, he's going to be trying his best to hold into that position, but Williams is looking extremely racy at this point.
And they're chasing Harley Moss in 7th. If they can both get there, they can both have a go at the 514, and I think they'll get that spot, but they instead go through the grass on exit. Ben Williams hanging the tail out. That was a good catch.
Yeah, amazing catch. It looks like Williams, if he keeps up slowing himself down with some small mistakes like that, he's going to be the one who's going to have to defend from Delmont, so it's going to be a switch up from race number 1. So Williams could be on the defensive here instead of being the attacking driver.
Well, that car right behind him is not Delmont. They've got a little bit of time to be safe. That's a lap car, the number 12. They'll go side by side now, it looks like, potentially. Williams, I think, is going to have a go with things here.
He might just be looking down the inside of the final chicane. Looks like he forced a mistake, did he? No, not quite. So amazing defensive that from Knox as he's trying to get himself past Moss ahead of him. So, well, this is just going to get crazy as we do enter the final lap presented by Tucson Sound Art. Andrew, are you ready for the final lap once again?
I guess I'm going to have to be. We're still watching this battle, 7th, 8th, and 9th. But way up front, way up the road, seriously, is our race leader. That's Adam McNally. He's going to go into turn 7 now. We would just watch those guys go through 1 and 2. So here we go. Adam McNally for the final time through 7. He'll work up to Coppice. And Dan Mold is some 4.5, almost 5 seconds back. Here's Coppice for the final time for our leader.
I mean, that gap that he established on the first 2 laps were essential. He just held the same gap throughout the race. Absolutely no mistake. Mold as well, no mistake, as we do have, it looks like a battle for 4th place. Silkstone and Sharp battling throughout. Was there Sharp? Looks like that was maybe have been Sharp, as it looks like the battle for 4th place definitely not over yet. But the number McNally, once again after race number 1, wins it again.
Win number 2 on the day for McNally. Across the line he goes. Here comes Dan Mold. He's going to take 2nd, then Ben Sharp. He'll take 3rd. We'll watch everybody else come across the line here from our speed shot on the front stretch. 4th, going to go the way of Liam Silkstone. Great last lap pass over James Sharp. 6th, there we go, gonna go to Mcewen. 7th to Harley Moss at the line. No, Chris Knox got it.
He got it just by the smallest of margins, less than 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths of a second. Somehow he made that work. Williams is gonna be finished off in 9th place, just ahead, 1 second ahead of Delmont. It definitely does not get easier on the final lap.
Couple of more cars to finish this race. They will be Colin Sansom way further back. In fact, there he goes across the line. Then it's Michael Leese. He's coming into the final corner. Well, no, he's exiting the final corner now. And Fiona Siddons will work on... Oh, my gosh. Look at all that damage to the 927.
That's literally a lot of damage. And unfortunately for him, just bad luck. And you can see, even on driving not looks like at full speed, still really gets the toll on the car. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be finished off the race now. Fortunately for him, but, well, he still has 1 race to turn it around.
We'll go ahead and go to our spinny wheel. I love calling it a spinny wheel. It is a spinny wheel, right? I mean, it spins. It's a wheel. We'll go ahead and spin it. This will be for our invert for race number 4, the final race of the day. Oh, no. It's a full invert.
There we go.
That's a full invert for our final field of the day. That's 33 cars. That means Luke Cooper, who we saw in the dirt way early in this race, is going to start first for our final race of the day. Adam Holloway is going to start from 2nd. James Neve from 3rd. We'll go through the full results here in just a moment. Wow.
This is just going to shake up things a lot. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's fitting, isn't it, Andrew? For the final race of the day, we're going to have a full grid mix-up.
Yeah, we've had big inverts. I really thought the other numbers, 7, 9, 11, I thought we'd see at least one of them, even 13. I think there's 15 in there. I thought we would have seen something smaller. I didn't think we'd have 25, 21 in full. You know what? Roger's right. So yeah, reminded me of something that I should have been more aware of. We'll see that in a second. Full invert of all of the drivers who finished on the lead lap. That is correct. I kind of forgot about that. So we'll see then. So it will not be Luke Cooper on pole. Nathan Davies will be the first one to not get to start via the invert. Here we go, though. These are our results from race number 3. So Adam McNally will start from 25th. No, 26th. Effectively, this is a 26-car invert. Adam McNally will start from 26th after winning his 2nd race of the day. So mired back literally as far as we could put him. Dan Mold, 2nd. Ben Sharp, 3rd. Liam Silkstone, 4th. James Sharp, 5th. These are our results from race number 3. You can see Andrew Mcewen there in 6th. Then Chris Knox. Harley Moss. Look at the gap. Less than a tenth and a half by just that little bit. Incredible right there. Ben Williams comes across just 1 more tenth behind Harley Moss for 9th, and Adam Delmont then in 10th.
That was extremely close between those drivers. Derek Crowther unfortunately finished up outside the top 10 in 11th place, ahead of James Clark in 12th. Michael Seals is going to be finished off in 13th, and then in his number 57. Florence Tulo is going to be finished off in 14th, just 25 seconds behind the leader. Ahead, although, of Casper de Court, so unfortunately bad luck struck for him once again. He's going to be finishing off in 15th. Adam Mitchinson is going to be finished off in 16th. The 577 of Learn More is going to finish off in 17th. Glenn Humberstone in 18th. 19th is going to go the way of Douglas Stewart, who finished just ahead of Tom Griffiths. Look at that gap, Andrew. 0.005 of a second.
side by side across the line. They were for 19th and 20th and 21st, a little further back. That's where you get Julian Schroer. He's going to start, it looks like, from 6th now, because you can see the first car 1 lap down is Nathan Davies, which means Michael Lease will inherit the pole. Fiona Siddons will start from 2nd, Colin Sansom 3rd. Lars Fischer, not a great race for him, had a mistake there early on. He now gets to start from 4th, and we know how fast he is. I would look for the number 10 to potentially win this final race on the day. Lee Holmes will start from that 5th spot. So, you know what? Lee Holmes could be good in this next one, too. You can see the rest of the finishing order. We've got a driver to talk to, and JP, this is going to be a fun one, I think. Somebody that had a lot of action so far in these first 45 minutes of racing of this winter season. It is going to be Harley Moss. We're going to hand him your way.
So, Harley, I mean, 3 races down, I mean, how has been your experience so far? I mean, from our point of view, it has been absolutely wild, but from a driver's POV, talk us through it.
So race 1 went fairly alright, as far as I'm aware. I think I got 2nd in Pro-Am, so 2nd in class. Race 2, not quite so great. Got caught up in that massive incident on the 1st or 2nd lap, one of the two, where I ran a bit wide, got collected by a guy spinning across the track, and then another car got put into the rear left of me, and I just got collected up, car after car after car. But managed to recompose myself for the 3rd race, and I think I came in with another podium in class again, and a top 10 as well.
Yeah, it was an absolutely brilliant result when you look, on your class, and a top 10 overall. It's just fantastic. Now heading into the final 15 minutes, it's the same strategy as the previous 3 races.
It's the same strategy as the first race, because I didn't have a great qualifying in for race 1. Just a case of get through, survive, see how many other people make mistakes and go off track or get collected in incidents. My strategy for race 2 and 3 was get a good start. You're already up towards the front because of the reverse grids, the magical spinny wheel of fortune or disfortune, depending on who you are. So I was just focusing on getting good starts off the line for the first, for the 2nd and 3rd race, and then seeing what I could do from there. But this race, I'm going to try and work myself back through the field as much as I can, and just try and basically play the long game this season, just finish all the races I can, hopefully not got any protests against me, and just be there at the end of it to hope it all comes home.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be the strategy. Consistency is key. Me and Andrew, we've seen that times and times before overall in championships, where you don't really need to win a race to win a championship. So, well, just make sure you do your plans, follow your plans, and well, hopefully it all comes together. Now, before I let you go for this final race, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
So I've got obviously Sequential Sim Sport, which is the team that me and Thor are both running under. We've both been partners, teammates for a few months now. Also got Major's Garage. They do a lot of our setups for us, or we get setups from them and tweak them to how we like them. And also a clothing brand that we're also partnered with. It's called It's Okay. So it's a mental health awareness clothing brand. Go to their website, www.itsokclothing.com, and see what you can get on there and help support a great cause in mental health.
Absolutely a great cause indeed. I thank you for that. And well, with that being said, Harley, I'm gonna let you focus and concentrate for this final 15-minute race, and I'm gonna wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for a great stream so far as well. Have a great night.
Thank you, you as well. And that, Andrew, is Harley Moss, looking quite confident, I dare say, for this final round. And well, as we mentioned before, consistency in overall championships, that's just the key, isn't it?
Yeah, that it is. And somebody that has shown some consistency certainly has been Ben Sharp. And Ben, it's been a whirlwind. It's been a roller coaster. What other adjectives do you want to use to describe it? I mean, it's been crazy. You've been aggressive, made it 3 wide, 4 wide even. You've been fast. How do you go and win this next race?
I don't even know where I start. So the objective is never to go. It's just to keep finishing in this series. Just keep racking the points up. But I don't know. It depends where I start. But I'll give it my best shot as I always do. I think I've moved quite a few places up this night, so it's been going well.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're starting either. I wish I could help you out with that one, but regardless, it seems like you were one of the quickest in race 2 to work through this field. Does that help you, whatever you learned there on those first few laps in race 2?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like knowing the overtaking places. these things, you've got to be the first lap when you're 21st. Like, if you can make some moves as quick as possible, pick a few off, it helps so much. So, like, I can't remember what it was in that race. It was 21st to 3rd or something. And the race before was 22nd to 2nd. So it's like you just got to keep picking them off and playing the smart game. Sometimes not overtaking that car in the front yet, because you're both working together to catch the next car, and there's quite a lot of tactics in it, I think.
So with the clouds that have built up here for the final race, it looks a whole lot darker. How do you try and approach things? I'd imagine, well, we can even check weather live here. It's a whole lot cooler. Does that change the track for you?
Yeah, it'll make it so first lap is really slippery, these MX-5s. As soon as you light the rear tyres up out of the corner, you are a bit of a sitting duck for the next couple of corners. So it's the first lap, you've almost got to be a bit gentle and not really try and look after those rear tyres from overheating them quickly, because you end up with some massive slides on, and obviously you've probably seen quite a few cars spinning off on the first lap.
Well, it's been a whole lot of fun watching you guys. By all means, keep it up. We love the aggression. We love the 2, 3, 4 wide battles. Keep it up, but safely, we'll say. Have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll try my best. I'm probably run out of luck now, though.
Well, best of luck to you, Ben. We'll let you go. We'll let you get ready. 5 more minutes here before we go racing again.
Thank you, mate.
That's Ben Sharp. He's going to be starting from somewhere in the field, I would imagine, after finishing somewhere in the previous field. We've got one more driver to talk to real quick. We have a little bit of time. We can talk to him for a moment here, because it's somebody that I've seen a lot of in these last few races, JP, and somebody who made a couple of brilliant moves as well. It is Liam Silkstone, and I think this will be a fun one.
I mean, Liam, as Andrew mentioned, you've been quite a name in our timing sheets, and you've made interesting moves. I mean, talk us, how much fun is it to drive this Mazda Miata around Donington Park?
Oh, I love the Donington Park circuit personally. It's a great place to start the season. It's one of my favourites, so it's like I sort of know anywhere else won't look as good. But no, it's a great car to drive. We've got Mike who's done the setup for us this week, and the car feels sweet, so doing well.
Well, it's certainly doing well, and I mean, how would you rate your first 3 races so far, and how would you prepare differently? Would you do something different for the 4th and final race tonight?
To be honest, I think it's about a 15 out of 10, maybe a 16, and I'm surprised I've even got this far. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. The aim is for the season with any race is keep it on the track, and I've done that quite well.
I mean, you absolutely have to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean, you've been doing a fantastic job so far. Final 15 minutes. I mean, do you take it a little bit easier now that you mentioned, well, it's a 16 out of 10 is a fantastic 3 races so far. Do you take a little bit easier, or do you go for it, try to get as many positions as possible, being safe?
No, like, I know it looks like I've been at the front the whole time, and I have, but I have been trying to play it safe. It's because, as you've just interviewed Ben, I was racing with Ben towards the end, and I'm like, he's a pro, I'm pro-am, let him go, tow him round, and then if I just finished 4th, I could have finished 7th, 8th when everyone catches me. I'm not the fastest, so just play smart, follow the car in front, and just go.
Well, there you go. That might just be one of the best strategies to go out there. And, well, if it worked for you so far, I'm wishing you the best of luck for this final race and this final 15 minutes. But before I let you go and focus and concentrate, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
I'm going to shout out Mikey for getting the setup sorted. I shout out McNally saying the session's nearly up, so you should really get in here. And Team Sport, because they've got it on at the telly at work, because they're all cheering us on.
Well, there you go. I'm pretty sure they're going to be working it well. I mean, watching, not working well.
They should be working, to be fair.
well, I'm going to be wishing the best of luck, and, well, hopefully you can bring a nice result back home on this final 15 minutes.
Sound, thank you.
Well, Andrew, that was Liam Silkstone. I mean, absolutely lovely. And, well, looks like he's happy with his first 3 races. Hopefully he can make, well, a 4 out of 4. What is that, a home run, would you call it?
I don't know if I would call it a home run, but it would certainly be a pretty good day, a points day, certainly. And honestly, with the way we've seen these results go with the inverts, maybe even good enough to sort out into the top 3 or so in points. You really don't have to do a whole lot, I think. Just work through this field methodically each and every race, and I think you've got a pretty good shot at working up. Before we get going with this 4th race on the day, we got a lot of broadcasts here at Pit Stop TV year-round, literally. Even coming down through the holidays, we've got a lot of broadcasts to talk about. And this is what's coming up. And I talked about BSRTC coming up. We've got some more racing with this particular field of drivers in touring cars right back here at Donington Park. That's Thursday. Same time, same channel, 3 p.m. Eastern, and that's 8 p.m. UK. I cannot express to you accurately, JP, how excited I am for the Honda Civic and Hyundai Veloster to join these guys. Seriously, I am so excited to see each one of those 2 cars join this field. I just like touring cars. It's something I've not had a whole lot of experience with myself. I know these guys have been running it for years on end, but to see touring cars coming to the channel is a lot of fun.
Oh, man, I mean, if you haven't driven yet, they're lots of fun. And, well, I mean, if they're doing this show on Miatas, I cannot wait what they're going to do in the touring cars. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. And as you mentioned, I'm excited as well. I mean, looking at how the day went today, well, I'm ready for Thursday once again. I'm going to be losing my voice, I think, because on Sunday we're also going to have cars. So those boys are going to be back together, and, well, they're going to be on Canadian Tire. That's going to be an interesting track. And, well, if we have seen, you know, I guess evolution, we have seen progress in those drivers, that's going to be a track to really prove it.
And one of the guys that was in the chat a little bit ago, David Levine, he should be in that field again. Especially, I know he likes Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. He should be there. Monday, we've got a continuation of a few rivalries in the BRP iRacing series, going to Volusia Speedway Park, a little bit of dirt. And Roger Morton even chimed in on our Facebook post earlier today, talking about how much he likes the look of those cars and that he could see himself in one. Well, buddy, you've got to sign up for their next season coming up later in the year then, because it's been a wild with this BRP iRacing series. And like I said, some rivalries starting to spark out of those drivers. A lot to look forward to and a lot to watch for, I think, on Monday evening. But we still got to get through one more race here today at Donington Park and a couple more, well, 4 more races on Thursday at Donington Park with the BSRTC crowd. Starting on pole for this one, it's Arwen Graham in the number 923. You can see lights are on these Miatas, and we are getting ready to send them for 15 minutes around the Donington Park National Layout. One final time in this season for these guys. So it's Arwen Graham up front, Nathan Davies starting second, then Michael Lees, then Fiona Siddons, Colin Sansom, Lars Fisher, Lee Holmes, Julian Schroer, Tom Griffiths, and Douglas Stewart, your top 10. A little further back, it's Lauren Murray, it looks like, Adam Mitchinson, Casper DeCourt, Thor Tolo, Michael Seal, and some more. Your top 15 looks like 11th place did not connect. So 30 some odd cars once again. Let's do it all over. Waiting on the green light signal from our flagman. Off and away we go. I hadn't quite realized just how dark it's gotten here at the virtual Donington Park until I saw all of these lights at once. One car already off, that Schroer in the wall.
Oh, luckily for him, that was the only one. I screamed, oh, Andrew, I apologize. Oh, there we go. That's another O, and that's a big O.
Oh, my goodness, the whole field is wiped out.
That's
Davies in the grass.
We keep going.
Oh,
unfortunately, we're going to have tons and tons of cars with damage at the end of lap 1. That's going to shake up the whole grid. Oh, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, ATVO is having trouble keeping up right now with everything that's just happened. Look who sorts out into first. Lee Holmes now with the race lead. Tom Griffiths in second, one of the Excite Energy machines. Fiona Siddons is in third. How about this for a start for the 927? We saw Fiona come across the line in the previous race with front-end damage to beat the band. The car was completely destroyed in the nose, now third place after lap 1.
There we go. That's just luck essentially playing on your side. It wasn't on the side on the final race, on the race number 3, but on this one, look at it. He's already up to third place. Amazing job so far. He has to keep it on the track, though, as you can see. Well, everything is mixed up, isn't it, Andrew? We already have plenty of amateur cars and, well, one Pro-Am car. I mean, this was a crazy lap 1. What we were expecting on the final lap, we got it on the first one.
And Liam Silkstone that we were just speaking with side by side with Crowther into the corner gets that spot. It looks like, look at everything in front of him though. That's Kevin McGlone. He's going to try and work by in the number 6. And he does get by that car for now. I see Ben Sharp. No, well, Yeah, Ben Sharp was right behind there. I see Michael sealing all of this. Oh my goodness. Down to turn 4 we'll go.
On a turn 4 goal, it's definitely not over. As you can see, cars different take.
Oh, Ben Williams!
75.
He's not catching that one. What?
No, he is. He is. Don't count him in. He's.
Wow.
Oh my goodness me! How?
What a catch. Crowther, though, gets sideways. He takes some damage. We just had a minor crash ahead of these guys. It looks like, there we go. We're going to crash now. That's Silkstone off in the dirt.
Oh, he's going to be parked on the apex. What's going to happen? We're going to have 2 cars. It looks like that's going to be the number 6. Oh, everybody got through somehow. We only had 2 cars and, well, not a lot of damage.
Silkstone goes way off of the circuit, gets back on in 19th, and is now going to have, here's Lars Fischer, who we thought was going to, oh, you know what, because he was lapped, he couldn't start towards the front. Now, working his way through this entire field, there's Andrew Mcewen along with him. What a first couple of laps. Let's go back up front because they're starting to mix it up there as well. Here we go. This is for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Adam Mitchinson bringing the fight to Fiona Siddons as they go by a lap car. It's the 576 of Colin Sansom.
This battle's definitely not over. Those 4 cars still trying to battle for the final spot in the podium. Well, they have to essentially get their pace up because, well, they do have 2 cars coming right at the back of them. Tulo and Sharp are coming. As you can see, Andrew, things are getting darker and darker. Those headlights better be working, and you better not take a lot of front-end damage because if those headlights they stop working, well, you're gonna be in deep trouble.
Yeah, imagine knocking the front bumper off of these cars and not having headlights at that point. No, I don't know how you... Well, I mean, it's not that dark. I wonder if time advancement is still on. I think it is. Yeah, I mean, it could get dark by the end of this race, but right now I think it's okay. You can see the contrast, though, even so. This is down the Starkey Straight, down to turn 9 we'll go, and it looks like Mitchison has fallen back. Oh, Mitchison drives through that car. That was Mitchinson that just got turned, actually. That was Lauren Murray? I don't know.
Yeah, pretty sure it was. Yes, because Tulo Thorthul just made up 2 free positions on one corner. We just kind of got the best spot possible to see that instant. So, well, the number 90 finds his way now into 4th place, just behind Fiona Seaton. So Ben Sharp also doing the fastest lap of the race. Everything is happening on each and every single lap.
Here we go, side-by-side battle down to turn 4. Fiona Siddons defending. That's Thor trying to get by. What a name, Thor, as well. There's side-by-side behind it. That's James Sharp and Lauren Murray that were side-by-side. And we've even got a battle up front for the race lead. Lee Holmes has got company from Tom Griffiths way up the road. They're already out of turn 7.
Yeah, Griffins got the fastest lap of the race the previous time around. Got beaten, so he has the pace over Holmes. Holmes trying to hold that lead for as long as possible. Looks like the exit into the back straight wasn't the best. The number 11 might be taking a look down the inside. There he goes. So the cars are alongside, and no, he just backs off smartly. Tries to get a better exit. They both go into the final chicane. Looks like the number 35 may have taken a bit too much curb, maybe just a tiny bit more than 11. And, well, we might see a change for the lead down into turn 1.
10 minutes to go. I think they'll wait just a little bit. If they wait, well, I say that, and here we go. Tom Griffiths around the outside, taking a look anyways. If these guys play nice, though, the rest of this race, they've got really good chances of sweeping the top 2. They're already clear by 7.5 seconds. Just stay like this. Meanwhile, the reason they're clear by 7.5 seconds, this right here, Jeff Sharp, not Jeff Sharp, I'm used to Jeff Sharp from BRP, James Sharp, battling it up with Fiona Siddons and the 44 of Thor Tullo. They worked out at turn number 4, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like this battle is definitely not over. Fiona Siddons holding that 3rd place. Somehow, it's still in 3rd place. And looks like we're going to have a pro battle right now. Sharp versus Tulo. Sharp got the best for the time being. As it looks like we're going to have a battle for the lead. Look at this. Holmes tries to hold, but it looks like Griffiths just might have. He's going to be forced around the outside in the entry of the final of the back straight. Does he get that move done? There's still less than half a tenth as Sharp gets past Fiona. Everything is happening, but Griffiths looks like he's going to have the lead, at least heading into the braking zone.
This entire field is mixing around. This is down to complete lap number 5. And look at that. Look at those curves just popping up in the air there. Was Lee Holmes and Tom Griffiths. They'll complete lap 5. Griffiths now back to the outside, the left side. Well, driver's left anyways for turn 1 through Red Gate. Let's see, can you get that spot on the outside? It's not worked just yet, but you can at least challenge there and kind of cut off the exit for the driver you're battling, and it works there.
Yeah, there we go. He got a kind of just a tiny little bit more extra speed on the exit as you take the outside line. He's gonna have all the inside, but then yeah, he's gonna be switching around the outside. No, it's not. Holmes is gonna be deeper under braking. Looks like Griffiths might try the over and under. It's not gonna work quite well. So Holmes is doing an absolutely world of defending right here. He's gonna be forced now to the outside, but it's gonna quickly switch up to the inside. He's gonna be deeper on the brake. Will he? Yes, he is. You can see the 35 car just kind of just letting the pressure off the brake pedal. They're still gonna go side by side as they head uphill. Does Holmes still put up a defense? Yes, he does, but it's not gonna work this time around.
Brilliant battle for this race lead. Lee Holmes now loses the spot to Tom Griffiths. They're both pro drivers, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another battle between these two before the race is over. Maybe in a 9? No. Holmes will sit back, except that maybe that 11 car caught him, for a reason. Maybe he's just a little bit faster and threw the dirt a little bit out of 10 as well. I think Tom Griffiths might be in the clear. Might.
Yeah, just might. He had the pace under clear air. He posted 2 times the fastest lap of the race. So if Holmes can just keep himself into the draft, just, learn where Griffiths is stronger, he might just secure a 2nd place. The problem is he has Sharp right behind him, 5 seconds behind. So if he can just keep up with the number 11 or ahead of him, well, that just might be good enough to make sure he holds. But, well, looks like he's not happy to be behind the number 11. He might try something different.
While they get in line and run nose to tail, here we go. We'll battle further back. Michael Seal recovering all of the points that he bled away in those earlier races. Now following Adam Delmont. He's just been passed by that 77 car. Has been Seal. So Seal now falls to 6th. And Delmont now works into 5th place. So oh, there we go. A spin further back. Was that Michael Leese? That's somebody in the grass. That was, in fact, Michael Leese in the 55. Gathers it back up. Or trying to. I've never seen a car fishtail so much. Finally gets back going. But back to Adam Delmont. Should have probably won that first race. Got punted in Coppice in the final lap. And it was great racing between he and Ben Williams. Gathered the car back up, but then fell to 2nd. This could... I don't think it's going to be. He's got 11 seconds to make up for the race win, but could be a nice little recovery drive.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a very, very good recovery drive. A top 5 is definitely gonna be a solid result if he keeps this up. But he might just try for 4th place. The gap might be around 4 seconds at the time being. So, if he can just pull some strings together, he just has to catch a 2nd per minute on the of the remaining time of the race. So, it might be possible, but might just be too much out of hand. Oh, and look at this, Andrew. Oh, even more contact.
This is all through Coppice. That is Holloway losing spots, but I saw that Liam Silkstone was in the middle of a battle. Was that Coppice? No, that wasn't. That was turn 2, I think. It's hard to keep up with these guys, but that was turn 2. They work now down to turn 4. Liam Silkstone in the middle of it. We're focused on him there. He's behind Andrew Mcewen. This is for 10th on back, pretty much. They're all on a line from 10th on through, it looks like, 19th.
Yeah, this is a battle further behind, but they're definitely not taking any chances. They're definitely going for it, as you can see, going side by side up the hill into the back straight. That's gonna be, will that move pale out? Looks like the number 75 Williams just might be losing. He's gonna be losing a lot of position. Looks like that's Crowther on the inside, and looks like he lost. It looks like Crowther got the position.
Yep, and Harley Moss, that's the car that's blinking. 3 wide, they'll go down to the chicane, though. Oh, Mcewen, that move in the braking zone was a little bit aggressive. Williams gives a lot of spots up right there. Williams falls way back in that set of corners.
Falls way back. He's going to be losing a lot of position. Oh, is that maybe a drive-through penalty for too many incident points?
Well, I don't know. The incident point limit is 15, and I'm not sure if that's a penalty at that point in time or if that is a disqualification, but regardless, we'll move on. This is everybody still working on through 10th. Well, 10th all the way through 20th, I think, now.
Yeah, this is a massive field right here. And yeah,
this is the lead.
Yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, the battle for the lead is definitely not over, and Sharp cannot really get the gap closed down, so these two might be in the clear for the battle for the lead. So this is, everything to play for.
Lee Holmes had the spot back for a moment, and now is giving it back up, but I think he's going to take a shot here. You can see the defense into turn 9 from Griffiths. Takes the inside line back away at apex of 9, cubes it through 10. 3 minutes to go. That means about 3 more laps.
Just 3 more laps to try and make the position, trying to make the move to win the race. Number
Here we go.
35 throws it around the outside. He does not have really the car, I mean, at position at the time being. He tries to get a better exit, but cannot really position the car. He's going to be trying to go around the outside, but not quite. Looks like he's going to be holding just a tiny little bit back. Just let off the gas a little bit, let off the throttle. Now you brake, you swing your car to the right on this downhill, pick up the throttle quite early, and try to get a better exit. Unfortunately, it did not work for him. He took quite a bit of grass there, Andrew.
That he did, and I mean, these guys have enough room back to third place to do this, though. They can get a little bit handsy with each other and certainly lend a fender or a bumper or two. So as long as Holmes can keep tabs on Griffiths here, I think you can use the car to try and beat him here in the final couple of moments. We've got 2 laps to go this next time through. I mentioned third place. That is James Sharp. Further back, 5-6 seconds behind those 2 leading. Thor has sorted into position number 4 and is just a little ways up the road from Adam Delmont. That is where things get hectic.
Yeah, Delmont's still under pressure from Seal. I mean, these two have been going at it for the past, 4 minutes now that we have mentioned that Delmont was in 5th place. So looks like that battle is definitely not over. Seal maybe just biding his time, just waiting for the final lap. As we do, looks like we're going to have 3-4 battles on the back straightaway going down into the chicane. Looks like, is this Silkstone?
Yeah, Harley and Silkstone. Harley Moss loses that spot. Silkstone gets it. What a pass.
That was a beautiful defense, a beautiful pass on the chicane. We don't see that often. We're not seeing a lot of that as much as I expected, but maybe it's just because you got a bad run. Look at this further back. Looks like that might
Casper.
be just mold. Yeah, Casper Cord just leading this pack, and look at it. They're just going to be going side by side. That might just be Mold behind him.
Yes, that is Dan Mold, just ahead of James Neve. And there's a battle back up front. We'll go back up to it. A lap and a half to go here at Donington Park. The final race of the day, side by side for the race lead. Mirrors touching. They'll go through Coppice.
They're going to go through Coppice. Looks like Holmes does not really get the best run around the outside. Can he eke something back? No, not quite. So he's just going to have to hold back on the back straight. Try to get a good enough exit on the final chicane to maybe, just maybe, on the final lap, get the lead. We saw that happening on race number 1. Sometimes the only lap you need to lead is the final lap.
Yeah, we did see that. You're absolutely right with McNally. Only led the final lap, won the race. Here we go. White flag presented by Tucson Sound Art. Each of these races going a distance of 12 laps. This is the 48th lap of the day. Then can the number 35 get the win? Maybe. He pushes Griffiths off in Redgate. Now side by side through turn 2. Do we see them beat and bang down to the 4th corner? Let's find out.
They're still going to go side by side. None of them are willing to give up that lead.
Oh, they wreck! They wreck for the race win in race 4. James Sharp, here he goes. He's going to take the win. Well, maybe not. Race win, not yet. But he takes the lead anyways. Griffiths and Holmes, they get back on the racetrack. They will lose even second spot. Here comes 5th. Griffiths off the racetrack. That was Delmont trying to come through, getting sideways. Look at Seals come into all of this. They're trying to get all of the spots. There is no give, only take on the final lap at Donington.
Delmont somehow got 2 positions. Well, somehow he definitely got 2 positions up to the final podium position. Sharp, what did we mention, Andrew? Sometimes the only lap you need to lead is the final lap.
And he's going to do it so long as he gets through the next 2 corners. The final chicane just right enough to win this race. Into the final corner, the number 33 sets the turn in, pops the curbing on the right and left, and out of turn 10, it is a race win for James Sharp. Wow, he started that lap 5 seconds behind our race leaders. He finishes that lap 4 seconds clear of second.
What a race. And somehow look at the gap between 2nd and 3rd place.
Yup.
Wow. Yeah, that's less than half a tenth. They were side by side.
Big crash.
Oh, as we do have a big crash. Is that on the home straight?
Yes, that's at a turn 10.
Yeah, there you go. So looks like the number 80. Oh, someone needed to tow. Was that Williams?
That was Fiona Siddons, I believe. No, that was James Neve. That was James Neve in the number 7 that had to tow right there. Wow.
Speechless for the 4th time tonight.
4 races, speechless 4 times. The math adds up.
What a crazy, crazy turn of events. Again, the final lap just delivering so much. Wow.
Can you believe it, though, for James Sharp? Can you believe that final lap? I can't. He was 5 seconds or so behind the race leaders into that last lap, and they crashed coming down the hill. Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, I wish we had a... Well, now we gotta add an Apple Watch to everybody. Can we get a webcam as well to see those face reactions?
Yeah, that's something we should work on, certainly. The number 33 comes around, completes the cool-down lap here, and I'd imagine he's going to celebrate a good bit more, maybe even come into the pit lane. Maybe no donuts. I think I'm conditioned to expect donuts, but maybe not just yet. Let's go back and try and find out what happened up front for the race win. What in the heck went on between those two? We were watching the entire time. This will be a look back at the entire battle.
Yeah, I mean, everything started essentially on lap 1, didn't it? In the midway part of lap 1, these two kind of just broke away from the field. And then, well, this is exiting turn 1, correct?
That's at a coppice, I think, and this might be a good ways before the end of the race. Let's try and fine-tune this just a little bit. I can't believe that.
Have you noticed something, Andrew? This 4 races have been so hectic, we couldn't even pull the replay for it.
Yup. This is about the first time we've done it. I think the second time.
Yeah,
we did a couple of times at the end of race 1, but this is the first time we've properly done it. So this is where the battle really comes from. You can see the misstep there for Griffiths, wide in Redgate. I think there was contact to spark that. This is side by side down to turn 4. What goes on here?
It just kind of drove into another, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I think Holmes was trying to just get as far as he could to the left for turn 4 and just unfortunately made contact with Griffiths. And watch all of this happen. There goes, that's not Delmont. That was Thor that came on by. Here comes Delmont now. Delmont and Seals work on by. Let's follow these two because somehow they still catch up to Thor Tullo in this final lap.
Yeah, I mean, Delmont absolutely somehow pulled everything together to essentially close the gap. That was still well over a second when that happened, so...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just a mistake down into the final corner. That has to be it.
I think maybe some draft here. Draft on this final lap out of the, out of Compass. It must be one heck of a lunge here from Adam Delmont for the final attempt at another spot here. He does not get it. This is incredible drive out of the final corner then. Look at this drive to get alongside.
That was absolutely sending it on the final corner. Just unfortunately went. Even if the finishing line was right at the pole position mark, it was just being so close between those two. But what a send from the number 77.
Yeah, I'll say so. That was insane. And it wasn't even necessarily a send. It was just maximizing every single corner there at the end of the race. That was really, really good stuff out of Adam Delmont. And that shows why he led so much of that first race. We've got some drivers to speak with here on the far side of our 4th race of the day. It looks like we're going to start off this final time with Mr. McNally. Adam McNally, who won that first race. I'm going to hand him your way.
Well, Adam, I mean, what a crazy turn of events. I mean, what a fantastic 4 races. I mean, how do you sum up? You won half of them. How would you sum it up?
Like I said, crazy bit swings and roundabouts, as we would put it over here. 2 wins, 2 terrible results. Just take it as it comes.
Kind of just evening it out, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got the best spots, I guess, for the 1st and 3rd races. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, somehow, talk us through that first race. I mean, we need to know what happened.
Just sitting behind, following the 2 cars in front. Happy with 3rd, and I think it was the last lap. They both made contact, and I was just able to sail around the outside and take the win.
I mean, this scene is the same thing happened on the final race. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. Essentially a carbon copy of what happened, and we're just baffled. We were just speechless. And, well, talk us through the unfortunate 2 races you had.
Race 2, it all started with the Delmont incident. I was just close behind them, and the cars in front checked up, but Delmont must have lifted, and but he didn't have a brake light, and I just touched him, a little tap, and it sent him firing off. So I know that's going to be a DQ, and probably a pit lane start for the rest of the season with how many cars died.
And on the 4th race, on this final race, what exactly happened, unfortunately, for you?
There was a big incident coming into the old hairpin. I managed sort of slow down, but Arwen were a broken car, couldn't stop it rolling in front of us. I just hit the side of it, and then a car behind just hit us really hard and broke my car, and that was it. Race done, not even 4 corners in.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate for you. You couldn't really, I guess, place a comeback on this final race. But I mean, overall, how would you rate your whole 4 races?
Not too bad, I suppose. Race 1 and 2, race 1 and 3, good results. Race 2, I'd give myself like a -50 for the way I drove. But race 4, just one of them things.
Well, I guess everything is gonna be even itself out. But well, I mean, you kind of need. I mean, I'd say you'd be happy with 2 wins out of 4 races, and well, hopefully many more to come. But before I let you go, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
Big shout out to everyone who does all the work behind the scenes. You guys for doing the broadcast. Look forward to watching it after the race. And my teammates for turning up. And of course our sponsors, Excite Energy. We'll have Motorsport Days Live and the Cryo Premature Baby Foundation.
Well, there we go. Well, with that being said, Adam, I'm wishing you the best of luck. Are we going to be talking to you on Thursday?
No, I'm not doing the touring cars this season. But I do really enjoy the car. I had a quick go the other day around Knock Hill, and it was amazing. So maybe the season after, I'll look into doing the TCR.
Well, I will definitely be welcome. I'll definitely want to talk to you more. If we're not gonna see you on Thursday, well, I hope I can talk to you next Tuesday then.
Oh, definitely. Always happy to pop in for a chat.
Well, there you go. Well, Adam, well, that was it. Well, I hope to talk to you next week then. Well, and I wish you a happy New Year as well.
Yeah, same to you, and all the best to everybody. Everyone that's watching, Happy New Year.
And well, there you go, Andrew. That was Adam McNally. I mean, race 1 and race 3 winner. 50%, I guess. I guess a lot of drivers will take it. I'll definitely take it as well.
Oh, certainly. Anybody will take 50% on the day when it comes to sprint races of 15 minutes apiece. Somebody who will take 25%, though, with a win in this 4th race from one winner to another, James Sharp. What happened on the final lap?
Well, I lucked out, really. I'd long sort of given up on catching them and was happy with 3rd place. And I did think they might tangle, but I didn't, really expect it. I kind of daydreamed about the idea. I got kind of lost in a bit of a haze as I was just driving lap after lap it, really. But yeah, lucked out. That'll do.
And it was nearly a podium in race 3 that sends you all the way to 24th for the start of this one with the invert. The inverts all day were pretty large, really mixed up the field each and every time. How do you overcome that as a driver and then finish first? You made up 23 spots.
Well, I'd done this league a year ago, and I went at it, hell for leather on every race. And a couple of guys, Ben had said, you need to take it easy, think about the long game. So that's how I played it today. I had a poor first race, to say the least, and ended up at the back of the field on most of the races, and just tried to play it safe, really. There was a couple of instances. I got very lucky on, I think it was the 3rd race, on the 2nd to last corner, and again lucked out, just managed to avoid some contact with other cars. So yeah, that was how the evening was, just dodge them if I could.
And you say it was mostly dodge them today at Donington Park, but next week with this same series you guys go to Brands Hatch Indy course, not the long course, the Indy course. How do you try and get around that then? Obviously cars are going to be flying at you left and right.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very fraught and close. I think there's so many good races in the league, and the pace between us all is very, very little. There'll be a lot of 2 and 3 wide for sure. I think keep expectations low for next week. I think if you can get to the end, that'll be a result.
So that's James Sharp then. We talked about it. Going into the final lap, you only need to lead that final lap. That's exactly what you do by virtue of the leaders making a mistake. Who makes it happen for you? Who do you want to shout out?
just a big thanks to Ben, Michael, and the team for putting all this together, and Kit was in there too, helping out with the behind the scenes, and just a big shout out to Mavano and all the guys there with massive support from those guys. They're amazing, and and thanks to all the other drivers for putting on such a good show, and the commentary team and the streaming has been immense. So thanks for joining the BSR League.
We are so happy to be here, especially for these MX-5s. Thank you for the performance on the racetrack. Congratulations on this win, and hopefully many more to come.
You.
And that's James Sharp. What a last race, and I'm glad we got to talk to him, especially. We've got a couple of more drivers waiting to speak with us. I'm going to hand you, JP, the one and the only Fiona Siddons, who started up front, really had a good start to this race and kind of fell back later on.
So Fiona, I mean, as Andrew mentioned, you kind of had a good starting position, but unfortunately just fell back. What exactly happened?
I got my elbows out into the last chicane. It would have been my first ever top 10 in the BSR overall. I was sort of get my top 10 or bust in the chicane at the last lap.
Well, being your first top 10, well, what could have been your first top 10, I mean, how would you overall rate your 4 races here today? What do you take away from it?
Race 4, I really enjoyed it, being at the front and battling with the likes of Andy Mcewen and Ben Sharp. That was good. The other two, race 3 and race 1, they was sort of 50-50 on that, how good there was. Race 2, I just got taken out at Swans Curve on lap 1, so didn't get to race that one, but I managed to watch your stream and I enjoyed it.
Well, we definitely thank you, but definitely, unfortunately, luck hasn't been on your side here today, but definitely plenty to learn for next week. How would you rate your chances? Do you prefer Brands Hatch a little bit more than Donington Park?
No, Donington Park's my local circuit. I really do know that one. Brands Indy, it's a very difficult track to, especially when you got 30 plus cars on.
Oh, so this was a bit of a home race for you, eh?
It was, yes. It's 20 minutes down the road.
Oh, there you go. That's the dream right there, living 20 minutes away from a historical circuit. But, I mean, obviously, as you mentioned, it might just been, was your home track, you might have just been stronger. But what do you take away from this? What do you kind of learn over the field, your rivals? Do you take anything away from here tonight?
After race 4, battling up in the top 10, I take some confidence going forward.
Well, there we go. Sometimes that's all you need to start up your fight back through the grid. And well, I wish you the best of luck. But before I let you go and before I wish you a happy new year, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out here today?
I'd like to shout out the Matthews Logistics team, Vapors Mansfield, who sponsor the car for me, and you guys for doing the stream.
Well, we definitely thank you as well for your support, and myself, I'm going to wish you a very, very happy new year. Well, and I hope I can talk to you next Tuesday.
Yeah, happy new year to you and everybody who's watching, and I will probably see you on Thursday.
Oh, even better, so we're going to see you a bit earlier then.
yeah, TCR, I'm in that as well, so...
Well, there you go, Andrew. We're gonna have to take an eye out for Fiona on Thursday actually, on the TCRs. Well, we kind of know him a little bit better now, and I'm pretty sure he will do better next time around.
Yeah, certainly. I think I didn't mean to move him right there, but the world is looking up, certainly for Fiona Siddons. A lot of experience gathered here in these last couple laps, especially, well, the last race there, I'd say. He really highlighted that. So, a lot to look forward to for the number 927. We'll move on down the line then to the one, the only, Andy Mcewen. It was an eventful one for you, Andy. 9th place in this final race, but how did you get here throughout the day?
Hi guys. First of all, good to have you on board. I honestly can't remember. So much has happened in the 4 races. It's hard to recall it all, but yeah, really happy with how that went. Actually, 4 top 10s and I think second in points after the first night. So yeah, can't complain.
second of points is a pretty good way to start things, but we're going on to a much tighter track even than Donington, Brands Hatch Indy. How do you attack that?
Usually pretty badly, to be honest. There are some tracks that I really click with, and Donington's one of them. Brands Hatch isn't one of them. I've always been quite slow there, so that's why I'm quite happy to bank some points tonight. You know, I know that I probably won't be this quick every week, but we'll wait and see. I could surprise myself, I suppose, and maybe take advantage of a bit of chaos like I did tonight, and hopefully just score consistent points as we move through the season.
And we saw a lot of big moves, especially out of that number 4. How do you try and handle everything going on 3-4 wide sometimes, or a couple of rows deep? You guys are all mixing things about and even making some contact. How do you handle that as a driver?
Sometimes I think it's best just to close your eyes and hope for the best. It's there's no real rhyme or reason to it. You know, some drivers, you know, you can do it with. So that first race when I was racing with I think Tom Griffiths and Casper Decour, I've been racing with them for a while now. So you kind of get comfortable running nose to tail, side by side with them. But oh man, those reverse grid races, they get pretty wild. I have to say that I'm quite proud of my pass in the grass, and you have no idea how happy it made me to hear you compare me to Dale Earnhardt. He's a bit of a racing hero of mine, so thanks for that.
Yeah, that was a proper pass in the grass. He might have gotten you back the next corner, but it worked, certainly, for the moment. That was great stuff. Continue more of that. I know there's a couple of turf spots you can go off in Brands Hatch and get some spots, by all means. Be our guy, then, for the pass in the grass. Let's talk about, then. I kind of mentioned the schedule. It is quite a diverse set of racetracks. I know, you guys run mostly British tracks. We're throwing in Daytona and Mount Panorama this year. It's still diverse, though. A lot of differences between each and every one of these circuits, especially from Donington to Brands Hatch and then Oulton Park for round number 3. How do you attack that and keep up on the setup and keep up on what's fast?
I have to say I'm really, really happy with the calendar this time. Normally it would be a real international calendar. We'd be going to, Imola, Road America, some of these big international circuits, and they're really long laps and they're fun tracks, but you only get about 5 or 6 laps in over 15 minutes, whereas a lot of the British circuits are shorter, so I like that. Also, I know them more. I work at a lot of these racetracks. I'm a commentator over here in the UK, so I travel to these places on a weekly basis, so it's just kind of cool that the British sim racers are racing at mainly British racetracks, and Daytona, of course. As a NASCAR fan, I can't really complain about that.
Well, there we go. 2 Andrews like peas in the pod, man. You go to racetracks in real life and do it on the sim, and same thing, same story. So very, very happy to talk to you here, Andrew. Congratulations on just a solid day of racing. Second place in the points after 4 15-minute sprint races at Donington Park is nothing to scoff at. Who makes it happen for you in the number 4 car?
Well, I've got to thank the team, Year One Racing, who I actually got to know through doing some sim racing commentary for them. I've only been sim racing since February, March at the start of the year, and they really got my interest. So thanks to Graham and all the team at Year One, and honestly, a lot of the drivers here, people like Ben Sharp and Tom Griffiths, they've helped me out a lot with setups over the last 8-10 months or so. So I know I wouldn't be this quick without their help. So thanks to them.
Andrew, one more time, congratulations on a pretty fantastic run, especially from 23rd in that last race into the top 10. We'll talk to you next time.
Awesome, looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
That's Andrew Mcewen finishing up in the 9th spot in our final race of the day. Insane stuff, really insane stuff throughout the entire day of racing here with the British Sim Racers, and I seriously cannot thank these guys enough for bringing us on board and entrusting us. I know they've gone through some changes, especially lately, and a new broadcaster is always tough to work through as a league, but to bring us on and to allow us to just kind of work with this day of racing and the days that we have coming forward has been really, really special.
Absolutely, this has been a fantastic experience for me, and I'm glad that I'm doing this with you, Andrew, as well, and obviously these guys, because I mean, if this is the first race, it might just get better, and well, I'm not quite sure how this can get better, Andrew. I mean, for the next 8 weeks, well, with the next 17 races, because we have a one on Thursday. I mean, boy, oh boy, we're golden, because this is just gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, we've still got 17 days of racing, as you mentioned, to go through with these guys just for their winter series, and hopefully many beyond that. We don't have a schedule graphic. We'll have that for Thursday, but I do want to talk through the schedule. I mentioned Brands Hatch Indy coming up next for these guys. We're running the shortened course at Brands Hatch. That's the one that kind of skips the forest section, if you will, that Formula One used to run on. That's the one that I learned way back on a mobile device on Real Racing 3, and the Indy course is going to be interesting with 30 some odd Miatas and 30 some odd TCR cars. That's going to be a lot of fun, but that's next week. Then the week after we get Alton Park, and that is the Island Circuit, so that has, I believe, both chicanes. I don't think we're skipping either chicane. Having both chicanes at Alton Park is going to be pretty special. That's going to be pretty interesting. Round number 4 will go to Daytona, and I think we'll see more passes in the grass probably from Andy Mcewen. Certainly a big fan of that. Round 5 will take us over to Knock Hill, brand new to the service. I'm excited for Knock Hill, and I'm sure you are too, JP. Knock Hill is going to be a lot of fun. Snetterton 300 checks in on February 1st and 3rd for round number, let me count them up, 6. So Snetterton 300 kind of towards the far side of the schedule. Silverstone National will follow it up. Silverstone National being the shorter course that uses the old Hamilton Straight pits. Then we'll follow up with, it looks like, Brands Hatch full properly for round number 7 and round 8 instead, and round 9 of 9 will take us to Mount Panorama in Australia. So 7 British races, 2 international, 1 down in Florida and 1 in Australia. It's gonna be wild.
Oh, it definitely will be. Some of these races are going to be so crazy. We do have shorter layouts. We do have big racing courses. I mean, we do have, let's say, easy courses, and we do have very challenging. I mean, Mount Panorama, Andrew, can you imagine? That's just going to be wild. We've had that in GT3 before, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I think it's going to be a proper finale for these guys. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. That last, Bathurst with TC cars, that's going to be really cool. That's going to be wild. The mountain section obviously is always going to be chaotic each and every lap with those guys. I look forward to it. 15-minute races 4 times a day. That's what we get to look forward to throughout the rest of the winter of 2021 into 2022. We've got one more meeting with these guys, as we mentioned, BSR TC cars here on Thursday at 8 p.m. UK time. We hope to see you all here. That's 3 here in the States on the East Coast. That's 12 on the West Coast. And you can kind of extrapolate from there and make it work for your time zone. Sunday evening, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, rather. It's the Superior Class Auto Racing Grid Sports Car Championship. Try saying that 5 times fast at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, otherwise known as Mosport. It's going to be a lot of fun with those GT1 cars. And hey, some of you guys that are in here, if you can stay up late on Sunday evening, if it doesn't affect your workday Monday, I would suggest looking into SCAR. They could use some extra drivers, and you guys know how to get it done, and with a whole lot of fun along the way. Monday night, it's the BRP iRacing Series from the Volusia Speedway Park in Barberville, Florida, and that one, I think, is also going to be fun and a lot to talk about once we work into the new year with each of those 2 races. And of course, we return back here on Tuesday afternoon here in the States, Tuesday night for you guys in the UK with Brands Hatch Indy. So a whole lot to keep up with here at Pit Stop TV, and a whole lot of places to do it as well.
Exactly. Definitely keep following us on all social media platforms to make sure you don't miss a single thing about the broadcast. Obviously at facebook.com/pitstoptv, on Twitter for live updates at twitter.com/pitstoptv_, on Instagram for live updates and amazing pictures by our social crew at instagram.com/pit_stop_tv, and obviously our live coverage on YouTube and Twitch at youtube.com/pitstoptv1.
And a big shout out to all of our partners here at Pit Stop TV as well. Of course, we always talk about Tucson Sound Art and all the contributions to Pit Stop TV. And it's been such a fun time working with Tucson Sound Art and keeping this partnership going. TucsonSoundArt.com is where you can find everything about Tucson Sound Art and use promo code PitStopTV for 10% off at checkout. And hey, the holiday season just wrapped up, or is beginning to wrap up, I suppose. That means I know a lot of you guys have Christmas money out there. I know a lot of you guys just got some stuff for Christmas, and if money was a part of that, by all means, check out Tucson Sound Art. At the very least, go follow them on social media. It means a lot to each and every company just to go follow them on social media and continue to help build their brand, and Tucson Sound Art is one that could really use it. Of course, we also talk each and every broadcast about permanent makeup and Cryo in Maine, another local business, small business up in the great state of Maine that is there to serve your every permanent makeup need. And they do fantastic work as well. It's quality stuff. It is, well, for those who are looking for quality permanent makeup work, I don't know any other way to say it. If you want quality work done, go to Permanent Makeup in Maine and Ashley Boyer's team up in Naples, Saco, Lewiston, and Auburn, Maine. We, of course, always talk about Whiplash Media, the official broadcast, graphic, and camera provider of Pit Stop TV. You can find more about Whiplash Media on Facebook. Go and hit Whiplash Media up for your iBroadcast cameras today. And, of course, BAM Racing Videos. Well, the biggest thing that BAM Racing Videos has done for us is let us use some of their flyover footage from North Wilkesboro Speedway. That was so cool. So if we ever have a broadcast at North Wilkesboro Speedway, or if you want to go back and rewatch the Nork iRacing series earlier on this year from North Wilkesboro, I certainly recommend it. It is a fantastic piece that we put together to open up that broadcast. BAM Racing Videos really does help us in a lot of ways, and we want to help them by giving back a little bit by a race fan for the racing community. That is the name of the game for BAM Racing Videos. Recently over 1 million views as well. So a lot to talk about there with BAM Racing Videos. A lot of content to watch from local racing across the southeastern United States. Now that I can breathe a little bit, JP, final thoughts from round one.
I mean, I'm still speechless, Andrew. This was absolutely amazing. This was an amazing experience, and I cannot wait to do this 17 more times with you and these guys, because boy, I was expecting some amazing racing due to the car and track choice, but it was well over my expectations, definitely exceeded, and I cannot wait to see what these guys are going to be doing for the remainder of the season. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, certainly. Very amazing stuff today, and for each 17 more, I guess each of the 17 races coming up. Well, you know what? Take 17, multiply that by 4. What's the number? I don't know the number off the top of my head. Let's do that quick math. 17 times 4. We still have 68 races to look forward to with these guys. Can you believe that? 68 races just in the span of January and February. That's crazy.
Absolutely insane, and I'm thankful to be doing it, because I'm thankful for the one that I can be the one that's going to be commentating alongside with you, because I'm ready to do this another 60, 70, 80, 100 times if needed, because this has been so much fun.
That it has. We want to thank you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action on Pit Stop TV, and we sincerely hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all of us here at Pit Stop TV, myself, Andrew Cardinale IV, and JP Costa on the broadcast this evening, thank you so much for supporting this channel and helping us make it what it is. We look forward to whatever races come up next for us. Of course, well, Thursday is BSRTC and whatever more leagues we pick up over the course of time. Once again, thanks for your support. We'll see you next time at Donington Park once again with touring cars on Thursday.
wanna cry.